on the internet. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. Let's see what happens when I refresh the magic button. Here it goes. Let me see that bit rate. It's not working. Hold on. Give me some of that bit rate. It takes a second, I guess, to give you the bit rate. I see my stream. It looks pretty good. At least source is 720. That's what I wanted to see. The bit rate's catching up with the statistics that it shows. We're gonna get the chat bot in the chat, and we're gonna start playing a game. I actually had 0 time to prep. That's why we're running a little late tonight. Come on, chat bot, get in that chat. We're gonna play a game that I bought on a Steam sale a while back that I heard was probably a fairly emotional game. Oh, there's a update for the chatbot, and it's called Adios, and I believe it's about a farmer who is working with the mob, but he doesn't have a choice, essentially. And I think he is being forced to use his farm. He's being forced to use his farm for hiding bodies, I think. There's my bitrate stats after I refresh the page a third time. And apparently it's a pretty good game. I mean, I think it has good reviews. I think someone is overwhelmingly positive on all recent all reviews. Very positive recently. I've heard good things, but I wanted to check it out for myself, see how it is. I think it's a fairly quick game. I don't know. Let's see if we can get all the chat box connectivity working. It looks like we are not getting the bot connectivity that we want. So let's go ahead and take a look at our connections information. The bot's in there. The streamer stuff is not in there. Our OAuth token is invalid. So let's generate a token, shall we? So anyway, while we're waiting for the stream settings to get all sorted here with my... Let's go to the old Googles. And we'll go to the old one of these. And bear with me just for a second as I off this. Good thing I have my phone on me, because I got to bust out the two-factor auth. If you don't have two-factor auth, I haven't seen it yet. If you don't have two-factor auth on any major accounts, what are you doing? Let me take a look. Where the problem with two-factor auth is certain applications require different things, like Google Auth versus Authy versus like Duo. The password I entered was incorrect. What? No. That's not what we need in our lives. Oh my gosh. Scared the shit out of me. How you doing, Ben? Thank you for the, what is it, 17 months now. Thank you so much. It's been so long since I started streaming. And I gotta remember, I started before, oh shit, I gotta get the token typed in faster, because the token changes on you. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna do this again next week, probably. Because I didn't choose to have it remember for the next month. Did it work? Come on, bot. Let me see you connect. It worked. Ben, thanks, man. I appreciate it. 17 months. And not just like tier 1, but the tier 2 is good. I appreciate it so much. It's a small crowd here, and every little bit helps, and I do appreciate it. The good news is it's tax season. And, you know, as you have a kid, you get money back. Oh my gosh, Lone Wolf, 15 months. 15 months. What is this Al 2019 Tracer? Is it an emote? Oh, I see the emote. I have to look in the other chat. Look at that. It's nice. Thank you. Thank you both. What what was I talking about? Oh yeah, tax season. So speaking of tax season, it's coming up. So hopefully, uh, you know, with having a kid, we'll get some money back. That'd be great. But the reason why I bring it up is Twitch emailed me. They said, "Oh, hey, your information for tax documents are ready." So I go in and I look at it, and I don't make enough money to have to go crazy and pay taxes on it, which is probably a good thing. But they have you have to pay into something called royalties, and I'm not a tax expert. I know there's a tax expert in our Refund Arcade Discord chat. I don't know if he's watching the stream right now. Probably not, but um, I don't know if I should say who it is, but I know somebody who's a tax professional who does it for corporations, and some of you guys probably already know. And he was, what was I gonna say? I don't even know where my brain is anymore. He was saying something along the line. I had some questions for him, and I was gonna bug him about it at some point soon, but I had no idea like the difference between like a income based thing and a royalty based thing, because I've never had royalties. Like you think about people talking about how they get royalties on like an aired episode on television that airs, and you get like a small chunk of change, right? That kind of thing. And if you're if you're like one of the people from Friends or Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld, who's making big bank on that kind of stuff, then living off royalties is an option. But for Twitch streamers, I don't think the royalty piece is where like most of those folks make money. They probably make it through the actual other thing, which I guess I didn't qualify for, which is good. Like I said, it's good. I don't think I have to pay anything on that. So maybe I do, but probably not a whole lot. What's the general message say? Oh, that's me saying that I'm live. That's perfect. Anyway, again, if you guys are just joining, I'm going to be trying out this Adios game. And I'm still making sure it's downloading. Yeah, it's almost done. And this is a game, like I said, I picked up on a Steam sale a while back. It's about a farmer. It says here in the description, a pig farmer who decides he no longer wants to dispose bodies for the mob. What follows is a discussion between him and his would-be killer. I heard this game is really good. It says it's a walking simulator, farming simulator, story-rich, and it's dark. Those are the key tags, at least for the popular user-defined key tags for the game. I haven't been feeling super well lately, so we're going to play games as much as we can tonight. I've been freaking exhausted. Freaking super tired. I've been having some like symptoms again, unfortunately, and I don't think the doc's not going to want me to change anything until after May, which sucks, but just rolling with the punches. Lisa was going to take Cooper swimming today, but she did not because something else came up. The neighbor who moved in to the house next door from us, it's an older lady who moved in. She bought the house from a previous couple that had they had 3 kids, and the place was a 2-bedroom. And now that at that point when they had 3 kids, they were like, well, we've got to get a bigger place. We have too many kids. So they sold the house, and this was like about 1.5 years ago, to this lady that moved in next door. And she came over to our house and said, hey, I'm going to be selling my house. And there's a swing set that was just the poles in her yard that were from the previous owner who had the kids. And, during the summer, buy a new house or sell some kids. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You could sell the kids. But they were making kids pretty quick. When we first moved into this neighborhood back in 2017, like we got the keys at the end of October, early November, and it was no joke. Our move-in day was the birthday party for their oldest at the time, which was their only child at the time. And then between us living here from 2017 to I think they moved out in I want to say 2019. Right around right after COVID started getting crazy. They had 2 other kids. They had 3 kids at that point. I mean, they were cranking them out. So yeah. But anyway, that lady is selling her house, and she came over and she offered to let us have the swing set frame that was originally with her house when she bought it, because we ended up talking to her and saying, hey, you have that frame, can we hang a swing off of it for Cooper and let Cooper, play on it? And she was okay with that. And so we have a swing over there, and she owns technically the frame for it. And we offered, like, you know, if her grandkids or her great grandkids come over, because she has a great grandchild now, and they want to use a swing, you know, because it's a kid, small infant size, kind of like one of those Fisher Price looking things or Play School looking things that's blue. You know, feel free to use it. That's fine. And so she came over. She said, "Hey, I'm going to be putting my house on this on sale. I want you guys to have the swing set frame, so you can like take it apart and move it into your yard, and then I won't. Whenever they take photos of the house, it won't look like it's part of the property, and you guys can just have it." Well, unfortunately, after measuring that thing, because it's made for two swings, right? There's a two seat spots for this system. It's like 113 inches. I think I measured it, and I measured every possible angle in our space where I'd want to put it in our yard, and we don't have the space for it, so it sucks. Because of like how our terrain is, it's not level. So I'd have to go buy dirt and then level everything, and then I wouldn't have time to get all that stuff organized, and it's kind of bulky, and I have to cut around it and stuff like that. So we're going to take our chances, and we're going to take our swing down, and then whenever the new people come to buy the house, time to buy a new house, to come at the swing set. Yeah. Perfect. So just like the other people that had too many kids, we don't have enough space to put in a big swing set, so we better sell the house so we can get a big swing set. So hopefully the people that buy the house next door, we can have that same discussion with them. If they have a young kid or something like that, cool. If it's an older lady or older man that moves in there, or an older couple, you know, maybe we can negotiate. But if it's a rowdy younger crowd, they probably will just tear it out. If there's room for two swings, time to have another kid. Dude, you know how it is with one kid. And we both work. It's so crazy. So here's the thing. Here's the little other fun fact. And it's a little bit, I won't go into too much. But Lisa's family, Lisa's mom and dad live in the southern part of the state. And they're not really around family anymore. And both her parents are retired. And I've been, you know, I think as a group, some of her other sisters and me have been trying to convince them to move closer to us, which is like the northern part of the state, as well as kind of closer to Maryland and that kind of thing. So I was able to like talk to the neighbor lady next door and like say, hey, can I come in, take some pictures and measure some stuff so we can get some information over to my in-laws. And she was all about it, so I did all that today, and so we gave the information over, and you know, whether or not they're gonna, you know, want to do that, and it's a different story. But I told her, like, it seems like a win-win, really. I know, you know, it really depends on the price and what you can negotiate, because I think the lady next door is asking for a little too much money for what she wants for that house, in my opinion. I think honestly the best thing to do would be to go pay for an appraisal, show that the appraisal is going to come back much lower than what this lady wants, and be like, here's your third party, a professional opinion on how much this house is really worth. How about we kind of negotiate? That's what I would do if I was buying a new house and trying to sort that out. But anyway, it'd be pretty cool, because then at that point, like, Cooper would be like really like literally next door to his grandparents. I would be able to cut their grass and like do home repairs if they needed something. And heck, that roof was like brand new. There's brand new gutters like in the last year. I mean, housing market is crazy. So it's so different from when you bought your house. Yeah, I don't even know, Ben. I know you're just going through that process right now, and the whole finalization process which just happened, right? You just finished up this Friday, I think, right? Yesterday. And yeah, so when we bought our house, we were looking around in the year of 2017, and it took us about 2 weeks to find something that we liked, or maybe about a week or so that we found what we liked. And then the house that we live in right now was only on the market for like, I want to say 2 or 3 days. And when we saw this thing, we just pounced on it and looked around, and we looked at other houses too. And we knew for this place that this was the place we wanted to be, mainly because honestly, most people don't know this, because there's a door right there. And people think this is like our main level, but it's not. I'm in a basement right now. This is the finished side of our basement of our house. And if this basement did not exist, because our house does not have a garage. Every house in our entire neighborhood that's part of the HOA, like the whole neighborhood, has a garage. We're the only house in the entire place that has no garage, which is fine because we don't need a garage. It's not like the end of the world. But this basement sold it for me because we also got a bunch of extra stuff with the house, like furniture and stuff. We can talk about various hoops we had to jump through later. Yeah, I'd love to hear that because I'm hoping that they didn't try to screw you last minute. I've heard like other people try to do that to buyers lately where they're trying to wait last minute. If you showed us the finished side of the what? If you're showing us the finished side of the garage, then what's the Swedish side? So anyway, this is not a garage. This is just the basement. But the Swedish side is red. It's like the orangish red, and this is the blue side. Originally, that Swedish side over there was unfinished. It was white, bare walls. Nothing was finished. Kami. You know, it's funny. Since we've moved into this house, I've touched up this blue. This is like a light blue. It's actually a very similar color blue to the bluish gray found on Sand Trooper backpacks that you see in the accent parts to a Sand Trooper backpack. That's a fun fact. But they left us the giant tub of paint that they used to paint this whole area. And yeah, I'm a nerd, so be it. And so I touched up a lot of the paint here, but the next door over was just bare white. And so I went and I found the colors, and the flooring was also a whole nother story too. But the red that we it's like an off orangish red color that we color, and I forget the name of it, but I do remember the name of the paint that we painted the floor because it's part of my dad joke. So and it's kind of not, it's a little culturally insensitive too at the same time, but I'll do it. So the idea is I painted the floor in there because people will paint their garage floors with some sort of sealant or something like that. Because a lot of times if it's just bare, it doesn't look as nice. In our case, we had 3 sections of this unfinished area. It had the bare concrete. Someone decided to paint the floor blue with the same color blue that's on this wall, 1/3 of it. And then the other 1/3 had sticky linoleum tile down, like the individual sticky linoleum tiles. So I tore all that shit up and I had to scrub the glue off with special chemicals, dry it all off, prep the area for paint, and I painted the whole floor. This was like a couple years ago. And the color is Navajo Buff, and it's like a skin tone color. It's kind of like a creamy color. And Lisa wanted something that wasn't dark because if you see like a spider on the floor or a bug, you'll be able to spot it pretty easily. So I joke that we painted it Navajo Buff, and I make like Indian burial ground jokes about our basement, which Lisa doesn't really appreciate, but I don't know. I think it's funny. And it's easy for me to remember the name of the paint. So if I have to go back to Lowe's and repaint it, which I honestly should, because I've torn out that floor a little bit much, but again, it's utility space, right? But I use it to do costume builds and things like that. So I've gotten super glue on the floor, so I had to scrub that off, and that kind of dulls the color and that kind of thing. But yeah, Navajo Buff, that's what it's called. And I used to remember the color of the walls in there, but I don't. Anyway, that and the fact that my paint, the paint in our living room, Navajo Butt. No, it's not butt. It's buff, like I'm a buff boy. Like BUFF. Or like, I think buff as in like, if you buffed something and it kind of has a little bit of a shine to it, because it is not fully matte. I feel like Navajo Butt would be brown because of like poop. But that doesn't mean butts aren't necessarily brown because they don't. I mean, my butt's not necessarily brown unless I poop. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about poop like this on Twitch. I'm not sure. Buff is like nude. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, like I'm in the buff, right? So yeah, that makes more sense. Because again, it's a nude color. Upstairs in our living room though, we usually had like kind of like I'd say like a light coffee color on our walls. And just this past year, actually back in November, I painted the entire room dark red, and I like it. I convinced Lisa to go with like a darker red. Granted, it took 3 freaking coats to do because if you want to get that, when I did my first coat, the red was going over the that kind of light roast coffee color, and it looked like blood on the walls. And I was like, man, Lisa doesn't think about blood on the walls. This is nuts. I'm like, and it's like, it's like a crime scene in here. And she's like, yeah, we got to keep painting this. And so I did 3 coats eventually. I had to go out and buy more paint. And then it got to that dark color that, you get a little sample swatch, and that's what it looks like. And then we kind of redid the living room space. We had to do, we did it a couple times. Red is a hard color to get looking good. Yeah, it really is. You're not an expert on painting, but should you paint a white layer first? Well, no, you don't have to. Whenever the paint that you buy has a primer built into it. So there's different types of paints, and we end up buying one of the top tier Cadillac paints that also hold its, scuffing and stuff like that. So you can get, scuff resistant paints nowadays. They're not perfect, but, with a little boy running around the living room banging like a toy or something against the wall, I can already prove that this shit works. So we specifically bought paint that was designed to not have to do that extra primer coat, and that has that the extra protection of scuffing, if that makes any sense. And there's more to it than just scuffing too. There's some light resistant chemicals that are in it as well, so that as you have daylight coming in or sunlight coming in and hitting a specific wall all the time, depending on where your house is sitting, that one wall might get way more light than anywhere else in that living space. So over time, that wall will start to fade and look a little bit of a different color. And that's what was happening in our living room with the old setup. Is like our one wall was a little bit lighter than the other walls. And so, putting a whole new set of paint on everything, one, let me go and patch some of the holes that were in the walls from the previous owner having hung photos that we didn't put photos there for. And so I patched those, and that was nice. I know this has suddenly become like a home improvements like story stream instead of me playing video games, but let me get this thing prepped. But then we redid the living room mainly because of one reason: the little Mister Cooper. We used to have we had a TV stand that came with the house, and we had a TV that came with the house as well. The previous owner was hung. I don't know. I didn't check. I would say probably not. But, but I don't know. Maybe he was packing heat that I wasn't aware of. But anyway, they were well hung in the sense that there was a giant mirror above the couch before. Just got to hang out with him. That's right. I know roughly where he lives now. But I don't know where in the building he lives, because him and his wife ended up buying a condo down by the waterfront in downtown, down by the bus station. I don't know if you remember much of that part of downtown Morgantown, but they're down that way. Not that matters, like the previous owner of this house, but they had a giant mirror hanging in the living room space that had. If you've ever seen like those anchor tools, it's an anchor like mount that you can put through drywall that allows you to hang heavier stuff on drywall than just sticking in the stud. And I'm not talking like the anchor screw pieces that kind of pop out on the other side of the drywall and hold things tight. It's like a little hook that has like multiple nails that you kind of like hammer in, so then it has more reinforced support. And they had one of those Super Duty things like shoved into our wall, and it was hanging there for years. We never hung anything on it, and they had this really heavy mirror on it before, and that's why they put so many things in that little mounting support. And the only time we'd ever use it is around Christmas. We'd hang a wreath on it. And then thankfully now, since we redid the paint, I took it all out and I puttied it up, cleaned it up, and it's now painted. And then when we got new furniture in the living room, we had to get rid of our bookshelf that we had. And we still have it in our guest kind of storage bedroom that I want to get rid of. So, you know, if anybody ever needs a black IKEA like 8-foot bookshelf, I got one. All you gotta do is come over and pick it up. And if you want to throw $20 at me, cool. If not, you can have it. I don't care. I just can't haul it because I can't haul an 8-foot anything on our car unless I tear it all apart and then re-put it in the car and just dump it or something. But we bought we have a couch, new couch, and a chair. Before we just had one couch in our whole living space, and it was rough when we had guests over because there's 3 of us in the household, so there's no real room for guests. And so we ended up getting a chair, like a couch that's a 3-seater and a chair, and we had to give up the bookshelf. So, do you deliver to Vegas? No, I guarantee it's probably cheaper for you to go to an IKEA out in Vegas and just buy that. Where do you get your furniture? Here in town, we've been buying them through Star Furniture, which is that local business in town. And then, you know, we're not really like always like, we're not like fan favorited a specific furniture store. We shop around. So when we bought the nursery chair for Cooper, we bought it at Chuck's Furniture in Morgantown up by the mall. And because they just had the chair that we wanted, because it had this longer, wider single chair. It was a quiet recline. It was electronic. So whenever we wanted to like pull it back whenever he was sleeping and we wanted to lay back too, it wasn't going to make a ton of noise or a big jolt to wake him up. So those all played a factor whenever we were picking that out. And Chuck's Furniture was the only place that had something like that. And then the furniture that we bought recently, again, we got it at Star Furniture. But, you know, Star also sells kind of the big company, big box stuff like Ashley Furniture. And whenever I purchased this stuff, I didn't realize it was from Ashley. But because they have different dealers, you can go buy a Lazy Boy product there, you know, name another company that sells furniture. You can probably buy it at Star. But in our case, we fell in love with this chair and couch combo that was big enough to fit our smaller living room, and so we picked it up and we bought that, and I didn't realize it was Ashley, but the company that makes it's Ashley Furniture. And we got it gray. It's gray, and so it kind of fits with anything we wanted to paint the room with. And at that point, we already painted the room red, so gray was fine. It looks good. But I don't know. We've been trying to get rid of some furniture that we've had, or I was going nuts trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the living room, and I bought I think it was like I want to say it was like a 6-foot, maybe it was almost 6 foot wide TV entertainment piece, because originally I wasn't going to mount the new TV, or mount the TV to the wall. I was going to just sit the TV up higher, because this whole thing, like I said, was because of Cooper, was like, oh, I can smack the TV because it's up at my height, and I'm gonna let this. And it's a flat screen. It's a decent size. And yeah, the one that we used to have in there was, I think it was a 48-inch TV, and it came with the house. So it's not like we had it for a while or anything like that. It was here at the house, and it was an older TV. I think it was about 10 years old. Just this past year when we got rid of it, I gave it to my mother, and it was just dangerous for him to be able to hit that TV and touch, because he wanted to touch the people on the screen or interact with the screen and stuff like that. And it was kind of wobbling, and I was like, it's gonna fall. And I don't want to. And I could mount it to the back of the, mount like one of those little straps to the TV. But when I looked in the back, that TV was old enough to where, I guess, and it was a Vizio, so it was like kind of cheaper. It wasn't like a big like expensive Sony or something like that. There was no mounting bracket pieces for it to support like a mount with a piece of fabric or like a nylon or a metal chain to the wall. Now, I did have mounting supports for mounting the whole TV to the wall, and I was like, that's 48 inches was big for that spot that we had. So we ended up saying, okay, well, we got to raise up the TV at minimum. So I went on, we spent like weeks finding something that we liked. We found something, I bought it. I put it together, and it was so big. And I knew what the measurements were. I mean, we knew before we bought it what the measurements were. But when we got it into place, I put the TV up there. He couldn't reach it anymore. I'm like, Lisa, this feels just too big for this space. And she's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, let me take the big TV downstairs, this one over here, not this one because I got rid of it. This is a new TV down here. And let me take that TV and we're going to mount that big ass TV. And this is a 70-inch TV. This spot is a 70-inch TV. So let me mount that to the living room, upstairs in the living room. She's like, that's really big. I don't think that's going to look right. You're going to be sitting really far back to enjoy that. You're going to be too close to the TV. I'm like, let me do it. And she let me do it. I spent money on a bracket system, mounted that son of a bitch to the wall. And she was right. Too big. It was just so hard to watch that TV and feel comfortable watching it because of the gap that we had with how we had to do the furniture. And it was just, you were probably maybe 4 or 5 feet away from the TV, and looking at a 70-inch TV from 4 or 5 feet is just not comfortable. Because you have to move your whole head. It's like you're in the movie theater at the front row and you're trying to watch TV. And so she was right. And I was like, oh, well, we ordered new furniture. And well, how's this all going to work out? And so a friend of ours who is in the 501st, and he's also Rebel Legion, he's currently our CO for West Virginia. He's actually the outgoing CO because we're in the elections time frame right now. But he's going to be taking a role of GML. GML is that costume, as a garrison member liaison. They do the costume approvals as well as interacting with new cadets that are coming in or people that want to become a member of the 501st in the local area. His family's house burned down. I think I talked about that before on stream. He's got 2 boys and 2 girls, and his wife and himself in his house. And unfortunately, there was an electrical fire up in the boys' bedroom when they weren't home, thank God. The girls were home and he was home, but his wife and the 2 boys were out. And so they lost their home, which was rough. And thankfully, they didn't lose everything. They lost a lot of things, but they were able to, some of their costumes were okay. Some of their clothing was okay, but a lot of their big pieces like the furniture and a lot of that stuff was just destroyed. Especially all the boy stuff, like all their toys. They had like Star Wars toys because again, their whole family is a huge Star Wars fanatic family, right? They're all part of the Legion stuff. And so, we offered him our old couch, right? We bought new furniture. We just wanted to get rid of our couch. And the funny thing is the couch that we had, the couch that we had, which was like an old Lazy Boy couch we bought when we were at our apartment, was the exact same model of couch of love seat that they had before. And so it was just, the love seat was just 2 seats instead of 3. So it was kind of nice that we could give them something that was somewhat reminiscent of something that they used to have. It was like the exact same color, I think, and the exact same style. So I thought that was pretty neat. So we ended up giving him that. And then I said, that's the one you slept on, Ben. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one. And honestly, it's not the best sleeping couch unless you recline in it. Because like they had the individual seat pieces, if you remember, Ben. And like when you're trying to lay on the couch lengthwise, it's kind of uncomfortable because you have those individual pocketed spots that were kind of meant for people to sit in individually. But that's the one we gave away, and I had the big ass 70-inch TV mounted to the wall, and I'm like looking at it. You're back, remember? Oh my goodness, and so I had the wall mount system. I think I had about $55 in that wall mount system, and I said to the guy that stopped by, the dad, I said, hey, I've got this TV too. It's a 70-inch TV. Would you like it? He goes, well, how much do you want for it? I said, $50. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah, because I just want to get my money back from, the mount. And you guys could use a TV, right? And he's like, yeah. So I was like, I can unmount this TV right now. We can load it in your van. I can give you the mount system too. I can talk you through how I use the mount system so you can set it up at your new place whenever you buy a new place. Because they finally just closed on a new place. And this was around before Thanksgiving. Um, and he pulled out $60 out of his wallet, and I felt so horrible because I told him 50. I had no cash. I had no change. I'm like, I don't have change. He goes, I don't care. It's $60. I'm getting a 70-inch TV and a wall mount. Like, don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. And he got the couch too. So then that started everything, right? It all boiled down to Cooper needing a new spot to elevate the TV. So we had to get rid of that entertainment space at center. You guys just want me to play video games now at this point, I'm sure. And it's back in a storage room that we have. It's normally a bedroom, but we don't have anything in there. It's stuff with like Cooper toys and things like that. And Ben, it's the one you've probably seen whenever we do video chat, where it's like we have that one little mat that's like a little play mat that's got cushion on it that's multicolored. That's pretty much a storage room right now. Eventually, once all that crap gets out of there, I wanted to turn it into like a play area for Cooper, where we could pretty much just put him in there and he can just go to town, whatever. And so once we didn't have the TV on the other side of the wall, and I was TV-less, I was like, well, it'd be nice to have a smaller TV. Let's get a cheaper, smaller TV. And I bought a smaller bracket system for a smaller TV, bought a smaller TV that had like some of the smart stuff built into it, like the Google smart stuff. And I mounted it. So we had we got new furniture out of it, and it was way more money than I wanted to spend. But it feels homier than it would before. And it's crazy because you move in. We've lived here since 2017, but our living room feels so much more homier that we have more space. Hey, how you doing? And than before. Like before, we had this stupid freaking like random mounting bracket that we never put anything on behind a single couch, you know. And so now that we have the chair and we have like bookshelves on the walls and like the TV's mounted, it just feels more relaxing. And I think the red helps. People will say like if you paint walls red, it increases the anxiety that you have in that space. And I think that's like, I mean, maybe it's proven science. Maybe it is. I don't know. But like whenever I think of like warm colors, like darker reds, I feel like it's more warm and cozy to me. And so maybe the study is talking about like if you're only subjected to that space on a regular basis, like long term, maybe it causes some issues. But I'm also like a high stress guy anyway, so maybe I don't notice. And I feel like down here in the basement where everything's kind of like this grayish blue, maybe that's my way to step away from the dark reds once in a while. I don't know. Anyway, let's play some freaking video games. Let me make sure I have my phone plugged in so I can transition stuff over as needed. Okay, so I don't know. Let me, Steam, come on, play now. There we go. Click this bad boy. We're going to go to main, no green screen. I don't have the green screen set up, as you can tell. Oh, come on, full screen it for me, baby. What the heck is this? Is it only like a 1080p kind of game? Is it going to crash on me? What's happening? I hear stuff. You guys hear stuff. I'm going to tab out. Swap that over so I can see chat. I was enjoying this episode of HGTJ. Yo, this TV does not spark joy. That's funny. Yeah, the TV didn't spark joy for me because it was going to fall onto my son's face. And that's our home and gardens TJ edition. Field of view 90's fine. Show interface and hints, yeah, whatever, that's all good. Wait a minute. Video. Can I get more than... Can I get what I want with life? Can I do full screen? What are these resolutions? There we go. That's what I want. Can I do that with borderless? It's not letting me. Okay, that's fine. We'll do full screen. Why are you doing this to me? All right, good. It works. Confirm. We got to go back. Set this where it needs to be. Apply. Confirm. Oh, I lost you guys on stream. There we go. And then we need chat. Where's my chat? Where's my chat? I love whenever you change the interface on things like this, and then suddenly you can't see shit anymore. And here's the deal: like, why is the menu over here on the left? Like, shouldn't it be centered? Or maybe it's because it's an art style because they want me to see the pigs over here in the background. All right, so I guess we're good, unless maybe me booting it is causing weird things. Bindings. Okay, so we got left mouse is interact, right mouse is focus, aim. Pick up, jump, crouch, shift, journal is tab, skip dialogue, X. Lomo, if you think I'll use that, probably. No. Dialogue options, okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Move forward to WASD, yes. That all seems straightforward. Back, new game. Favorite button right there, X. That's right. I think this is voice acted too. We'll give it a go. Oh, I can open my journal. Tell him I'm done. Oh my gosh, I gotta turn my audio down. It's cranking.
I can't do this anymore.
What?
This.
What, mornings?
No. All of this.
Look for the lift control
Deal.
fan.
Afraid so.
What do you mean? You need better pay, different hours?
No, nothing like that. I'm just, done with this.
What? What?
You wanna...
You wanna what?
Yeah, sure.
Here you go. So, you done, huh?
Yep.
You do understand what that means, right?
So wait a minute. Whenever you're trying to pull out of this mob boss thing, first of all, they aren't coming to us in body form. If that's a human being that he's throwing to feed my pigs, what do I got to lose? What do I got to lose? I mean, I guess I could. I mean, if the cops bust the mob and they trace it back to here and they find out, then maybe that's a problem. If you want to be my lover, oh man, it's not the whole human. It's not a whole human being. That's right. Like if it was a whole human being and not like prepped, it looks like meat. Like I would buy at the butcher's. You know, it's not like I'm getting the guy and he's wearing his clothes and I gotta like just throw it in there and let the pigs go to town. But let's keep going here. Do I know what that means?
Have to mean anything?
Doesn't work like that. You know that.
I must be getting forgetful in my old age.
Uh-huh.
Why do those pigs have like teats on
Nothing I
their
can do to change your mind.
chin?
Now you are welcome to try.
Well, let's go get some coffee. Talk things over. Come on.
Ooh, thrilling. The breakfast.
Smells delicious as always.
Sadie was the real cook.
Hey, don't sell yourself short. Not much that's better than your home-cooked eggs.
Yeah, inspect that pepper.
Hope you don't mind. I left out the bell peppers this time.
Can't stand them.
Me neither.
Can I set the?
Not to change the subject, but how long we been doing this for, you think?
15 years, just about.
I don't know how to put my cup down.
Summer of '78. Why'd we meet? What was it?
Bill was sick.
Bill was sick.
And you couldn't afford a doctor.
No, we could not.
So you needed my help.
You or God's.
Well,
I can't
Here's
put the
what I
cup
remember.
down.
I had a problem that night.
All right, we got to go to settings because it's driving me nuts. How do I put a cup down? Oh, E.
Jimmy was trying to help me solve that problem when who should come in through that door but you?
Well, I may have been a little tipsy,
I drove you home that night.
as you're so fond of telling me.
Jimmy knew we could help each other, so he called up Tony. We agreed, made a deal. We all agreed. Ugh. Anyone ever tell you you're no good at making coffee?
Yeah, you
Every
do.
time you visit.
Thought you'd have got it better by now.
Well, Sadie made the coffee. I made the bacon.
It's good bacon. You know, when I was a kid, I thought pigs were all pink with
Neckwiles
curly
is
tails.
what they're
Yorkshires are.
called.
Mine are red wattle, American breed. Not a lot of them out there, you know.
No known
That's
biological function. I didn't know that. Fun fact.
Always thought it'd be nice, you know, to raise pigs that was different. I had some Yorkies way back. Must have been, I don't know, before the service.
I'm not real. He's talking to
I'm
a
an old
ghost.
man.
You and me both. So why the Waddles? Huh, funny name.
Like I said, American breed. Nearly went extinct. Thought I'd do my part to keep them alive.
Look
And
at
it
all
tastes
this.
good.
Look at all that. We're
You
learning,
aren't wrong.
we're learning stuff.
You know, the other day I was reading the paper.
Look at you, an intellectual.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not eating his
Anyways.
eggs.
I read that pigs were as smart as us. You believe that?
I suppose so.
How smart do you reckon?
Smarter than a dog.
Think we could teach one to play fetch?
Bill taught one, actually.
I don't know,
Back
Bill
in
is
4-H. Called it,
probably his son.
Henry.
What happened to Henry?
Well, Bill had to learn how to butcher sometime.
We all do. Do you think the pigs know
Know what?
that they're food?
Oh, pigs don't think like that.
How do you know?
'Cause I know pigs. Pigs ain't like us. Well, sure, they're smart. They eat, they sleep, but they do not plan. They don't think about the future.
And I suppose you do?
Every man does.
I think I'm just about finished up here.
You touch your eggs.
What do you say I accompany you today?
How do you reckon?
Well, my visits are always so short. Figured I could help you out with some chores. Maybe figure out what's going on with your little sports truck in the garage.
As long as you're okay with shoveling manure first. What about your sidekick?
Protege. When I retire, he'll be the man you'll be dealing with. Good guy. Smart. Discreet. Ambitious.
Like you, I guess. But, listen,
He's gonna put two in the
told
back
you
here.
already.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm quitting.
We'll see.
Why is there numbers? It's distance. Looks like we got 3 chores to do. You guys ready to do some farm chores? Lisa should be playing this game.
I've always wondered what was in this shack.
Have you now?
Figured it was just some old shack at first, but every time I asked what was in there, you haven't been forthcoming.
I have not, no.
Tried to take a look in the window once.
Did you now?
Lisa? You coming down? Yeah. Would you like to play a game? This game is about a pig farmer
Yeah.
who
Like CAFO style pig farmer or
What
like
the
small
heck's-
scale
I think it's small scale.
Small scale.
I don't know what CAFO is, but
concentrated animal feeding operation.
yeah, okay, yeah. See, you're throwing buzzwords at me. That's
Buzzwords. Imagine like lots and lots of pigs.
yeah, I
all in
get
concrete.
it. I got you. Yeah, this is a smaller operation. So this guy, man, I should just make you restart the whole thing.
How far in are
I'm
you?
only like a little bit. I was talking about life for a while.
About what I
Industry jargon, as Casey says.
What is it?
Casey called industry jargon.
Oh, industry jargon. Sure. Yeah. Basically. Tell me about your game. Tell me about being a pig farmer. How
How's
do you
the
like
quality look? It looks so freaking blurry. You guys seen that? I'm back. I'm not blurry anymore. Anyway, this is a game where you play as a pig farmer that has been working with the mob
it? Okay.
And
Pigs?
no. So I'm assuming the mob takes care of people.
Does he feed them to your pigs?
Exactly.
Oh man.
And today's the day where
Oh.
you say I'm done.
Oh,
And then this is you just work.
you just work.
You just live out the day
Okay.
and see what happens.
Okay.
Do you want to play?
What are the controls like?
It's WASD. E
Yeah.
picks things up and you use the mouse.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only first person though.
Ugh. Okay. How about can I watch you play a little? Like, can I give you direction or stand over your
Yeah,
shoulder or something?
yeah, you
Just for
can.
a second, like just to see.
Well, how are you gonna watch me? You won't be able to hear it.
Oh. Okay. Well, I will pull it up. Give me a second. My computer is doing its thing.
So anyway, just to kind of get you fully caught up with everybody else that's seen everything,
Yeah.
the mob guy that I've been working with for apparently like many years, like 10, 15 years or whatever he said. It seems like he shows up with a van with with body stuff. And the thing is, it doesn't look like a corpse. It looks like processed meat.
Oh.
So it looks like it's been handled properly.
Who are you selling these pigs to?
I don't know if I'm
Big
selling
time.
pigs.
You're just raising pigs.
I'm raising pigs. I think he's making bacon though. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, we feed the scene was
I'm concerned.
they're throwing the meat into the pigs.
Poor pigs.
The pigs are eating it, and the guy you choose the dialogue and you're like, I think I'm done.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, there's some rules with that. You really can't stop. And then it cuts to like you're sitting. He's like, well, let's go eat breakfast. And you're in the house. You're eating breakfast. Apparently, you've made eggs and coffee, and he's sitting across from you. And he's talking to you. It's all
Bacon though.
there's no bacon. No one's eating bacon. But apparently, the bacon was good because even the mob guys had the bacon because he commented about how he likes the bacon. It seems like, based on the dialogue, that your wife had since passed away, and the original reason likely was that you came to the mob back in the day to get assistance because I think your child was sick, and they were willing to pay money in exchange for you to take care of hiding bodies pretty much. And it seems like and I don't know enough about everything yet, that probably the son didn't survive and his wife seems to has since passed. So right now,
Adios.
yeah.
Okay.
So right now it seems like he's the only one at this farm. He's running it all by himself. And this mob guy shows up all the time, I guess every day or maybe, frequently it seems, to have him take care of this. That's so far what's happened. I'm just starting the day to go do some chores around the farm, and he is following me around, and we're having a conversation.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I will listen in for a minute. And see it.
Ta-da! Beautiful, right?
Pop machines. Here I figured you had a deep, dark secret.
What in the world
We
are you
have a
talking
deep,
about?
dark secret. This here is one of my hobbies.
What, collecting them?
Well,
That
sure, I
passes
collect them, I
confused.
guess, but that's not really the point.
Is there a
Unless
point
that's
to
what
any
somebody
hobby?
said.
It depends. What I meant was that it's no
No,
fun to
he's-
just collect them. I fix
being a
them
goof.
up. That's where the real fun is.
Makes sense.
You got any hobbies yourself?
Me?
Well, who else am I talking to?
I mean, who doesn't have hobbies?
Well, what's yours?
Reading, I guess.
Reading isn't a hobby.
Yeah, of course it's a hobby. What
That's
do you
the
think
monster?
libraries are for?
Everyone reads. Heck, I read the paper every day. But reading isn't a part of your
mayor.
personality. It's just a thing people say they do when they don't have any other hobbies.
You really believe that?
I knew someone who read every single day. She said she loved the smell of books, the texture of the pages on her fingers. She even bound books. Her hobby wasn't reading, it was books.
You put too much thought into this.
Well, a hobby is something you do because you're passionate about it. If it's something you're not wholly in love with, then you're still trying to figure out what your hobby is.
You got a problem with my passion?
No, you said I guess. No one says I guess when they love something.
Is love a requirement for a hobby?
Absolutely. Love's a requirement for many things.
And so you love fixing soda machines.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Why?
It relaxes me.
I don't know, soda machines. It's an unusual thing for a man to want to fix. Don't people get paid to fix them?
It is unusual, but when the missus and I would get into fights or when things was bad or I was anxious, well, I don't know. Well, Sadie's sister, once she passed, told me that it was all right to cry, that it wasn't weakness, that it was okay. And I remember sitting there in that empty living room with everyone murmuring and telling me how sorry they were, and I didn't feel like I needed to cry.
Didn't you miss her?
Of course I did. Still do, but I don't know. Not everybody needs to cry.
I can't.
I don't need to cry. I don't get in that way, you know? Weakness? I don't know what she was talking about, weakness.
I gave him a drink.
So weak to me, that's just not how I am.
I can't remember the last time I cried. Maybe that movie about the boy and his dogs.
Oh, always cry over that one. Dogs are good. Innocent. Yeah, when a dog dies,
I
it
did give him a
always
soda
moves
the
me.
other of his tummy.
Yeah, but Josie insisted. Then she kept insisting. Then, I don't know, I think she got offended I wouldn't cry, as if she loved Sadie more than me. And she made me feel like I was something wrong. Of course, that wasn't true. There wasn't nothing wrong with me. I just didn't, I wasn't like that. It wasn't what I needed. It wasn't how I needed to grieve. This is how I grieve, this right here. When I got a problem, I fix it. And when I fix it, I fix a little part of me. And I don't know how or why, but it's healing. It's a healing thing, and that's why a man's got to have a hobby.
Sorry,
No, it's all right. I figured, you know. I figured if someone's got to know,
What's that noise?
this is my quiet little hobby. A thing I do to help me work out my worries.
Doctor thought.
well, yeah. Looks like you fixed this one up real nice.
I'm proud of it.
I can't
Proud
throw
of
it at
all
him.
of them. But I'm proud of this one most.
Thank you for taking the time to show me.
There's another reason I wanted to show this to you.
What's that?
If you want it, it's yours.
What am I gonna do with a pop machine?
Well, grab yourself a nice, refreshing drink of soda every so often, you big dummy.
Wait, I couldn't possibly.
Please. A little memento of our time together.
Oh, come on, Memento. Let's keep this train rolling. We can work something out.
You come on back by, pick up the soda machine. Take it home with you. Or don't. If you really got no use for it, I won't be offended.
I'll think it over. What's next?
We gotta go do some things. Approach scene? What does that mean? Do they go through the gate, maybe? Aha.
Is that horseshoes?
Why horseshoes?
Well, why not horseshoe?
Doesn't it feel stereotypical?
Well, look around you. My nearest neighbor lives, half a mile down the road. It ain't the city. We don't have nightclubs and pool halls to go hang out at.
Pool halls? What is this, 1890? This is 1992.
Big Farmer, does
Fred.
he have
We got
horses?
shopping malls for teenagers.
He has horses back there.
Restaurants, clubs, whatever. But pool halls? I don't even know if they had those when I was a kid.
Uh-huh. Well, time doesn't pass out here as quickly, I suppose. No need for all that, stimulation.
Ah, so you play horseshoes.
Mm-hmm. Or read a good book. Develop photos you took for yourself. Go fly fishing.
It sounds idyllic. Quaint, but idyllic. And you just want to give up this home-cooked paradise?
What? I can't say anything.
it's lonely,
Give
too.
it up.
We could get you a nice place in the city.
Never was one for crowds.
Thought you said you were lonely.
I'd be just as lonely in a crowd.
Hole E, release the
Sadie,
throw.
she, nobody else could really see me. Understand what I was.
What?
How do you figure?
Oh,
After Saigon, when I got back, all these people were hugging
That's
their
so
loved
bad.
ones or protesting or whatever, and I don't know. I never felt more alone in all my life. I was home. I should have been happy, and
such a bad.
I wasn't.
Well, it wasn't a popular war. You lost friends too, right?
Yeah. But
Can you turn it the
I
other
got
way?
home. Yeah.
No.
It was dark, and
Oh, that's too bad.
there was Sadie waiting for me.
I don't think.
Porch light like a halo.
I want to know how they're figuring out this score when none of us have hit it
I
yet.
knew I wasn't alone anymore.
So you came back to your high school.
Oh my gosh.
I thought
Ah,
I
so
thought
close.
he'd have married her by then. I didn't think she'd wait for me.
Why not? You're a handsome guy. I bet all sorts wanted
You're
you,
close.
especially back then. Women love a man in
First
uniform.
shoe to the head.
Shit. Oh, that counted. I didn't
You
get
see
points
that
for it.
house on the
I'm
hill?
gonna lose. I'm gonna lose, Ben.
That one?
If I'm gonna lose my life, I better not lose in horseshoes.
The Gordon family. Went to high school with us. But, well, most of us were farm folk. Sadie, her dad, was the county judge, so for us that's pretty high society. The Gordons owned a lot of land, and
You win.
all of that passed to Gary after his ma died. In high school, he'd been our quarterback after his pa paid off the school, but he wasn't a bad athlete.
This is
Look at
interesting because these guys all.
Real James Dean.
The idea is they know each other
And
for
he
so
had to ask
long.
for Sadie. The poor farm boy who couldn't play on the team.
It's not
versus
golf
our
scoring.
Quarterback. Shit, what kind of contest was that?
Hey, who wouldn't want all this?
Man, yet when I came home, there she was.
Where was Gary? He served too?
Gary was too rich to serve. Star quarterback had some health exemption. Didn't get drafted.
Uh-huh. So then, where was he?
Running his dad's business. Trying to win her heart. Didn't work. Well, she invited him to the wedding. I didn't want him there, but, well, you know Sadie.
Uh-huh.
Well, Gordons own most of the property around here, including the 200 acres surrounding that hill.
Right.
And he built a house.
A house. Wait. That house?
The very same.
Looks like it was a mansion.
It was.
Why'd he build it?
I don't know. To remind her what she'd given up, maybe?
So, what happened to the wealthy Gary Gordon in his mansion?
Well, he built it 1 year. Must have been 1966 or so, and he went inside and he just disappeared. Then one night, about a year later, there was a storm and boom, no more Gary Gordon.
No more Gary Gordon.
Maybe he was lonely too.
Maybe. Yeah. All right, you win. What next?
Okay, so you can see where this is going. There's 3 other things we have to do, and I think it's probably a fairly short game. I like the premise of this. I mean, it's not like, very good for streaming, but we're gonna talk about the horse now. Look at that horse.
Don't you own a tractor?
What's that got to do with anything?
Well,
The horse with the horseshoes.
pigs I get. Goats too. Some fellas have chickens and cows, and that's all well and good, but what's the point of a horse?
Horses are God's most beautiful creatures.
How many
You
horses?
just keep a horse around because they're beautiful?
Horses belong on farms.
Why in the world would you
Uh-huh.
want a goat and not a horse?
Ah.
Come on.
You know, you haven't got a saddle for him, so you don't ride him. There's no racehorse. Can't eat him. You know, what's the point?
I don't see the point in a farm without a horse. Gotta have a horse.
Gotta have a horse, right, Lisa?
And what's this about them being beautiful? Beautiful, really. Beautiful, he says.
Yeah, you can ride a horse
Spindly
without a
legs and
saddle.
bloated bellies and those weird teeth. Sleep standing up. Who sleeps standing up? Something wrong with that.
They're
Aren't you gonna
They're
say something?
unspawning.
Are they?
Yeah.
One day,
Pet your horse.
one day, maybe this fella will understand. There you go. There you go.
To me, I mean.
I keep apples here 'cause he likes them. Likes the salt lick, too. Want to feed him one?
Nah, I'm good.
I've been feeding. Task: feed apple to horse. I've been doing that for 20
Suit
minutes.
yourself. All righty, here you go, boy. No, I gotta get going. Why don't you walk on out to pasture, rest a spell?
Part of the
Horses
story.
give me the willies.
Can't see why.
We gotta milk the goats and move some manure. Let's do it.
Oh, you have dairy goats. That's exciting.
The goat.
You know, back home they call you the pig farmer.
That description is apt.
And yet, you also have
Is your
goats.
goat for goats?
I do also have goats. And a horse. And I had a dog. Tried cows once. Bill raised a newt or something, but it died.
Well, most people have, I don't know, chickens and cows. You got goats.
Is that judgment I hear?
No judgment, no.
A
Just
Cree
wondering,
that
why
only
goats?
heard
Goat
what a
milk.
horse looks like.
Can't be much profit in that.
Well, there's enough. Besides, I had you.
Have. You still have.
As I've said, I'm no longer interested in that particular revenue stream.
We're the ones who sever ties. And you don't want us severing ties.
I believe I made myself clear.
You know, I feel like we've had this conversation a couple of times now, and you still don't seem to get that I'm done with this line is just gonna look really silly at the end of the day.
You were asking me about goats.
Yeah, goats.
I like them. They like to play. They'll eat just about anything. The milk's an acquired taste, but I've always liked the cheese. Meat's good with the right curry. A friend taught me that a while back.
So, you like them for the utility.
I like them because they're playful. Want to get started?
Started?
Milking.
Oh, hey, really? I've always wanted to try that.
Well, here's your chance. My goats are smart. They know what's up, so they'll just walk up. Here they are. Come on. Now they'll
They're-
just take their positions here like they should. Got feed all ready for them. Just you take a seat there.
Not very comfortable.
This.
Suppose not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
Now
not?
that we're seated, all you gotta do
Normally
is
you
grab
tie 'em
the
up
teat
also, but
with your
whatever.
thumb and forefinger.
And pull?
No, don't pull.
You squeeze.
Sort of rhythmically squeeze with the rest of your fingers. Gently pushing the milk out.
When do I get to do it?
TJ knows what's up.
Just like that, yes. All you gotta do is do that till the goat's out of milk.
Huh.
I can't squeeze. Why don't I get to do it?
I found it relaxing.
Well, I think I could get used to this.
Why don't you?
Say what?
Why not get used to this?
What? And come work with you?
Sure.
Yeah, some folks might take issue with that.
Well, can't make everybody happy. Better than ending up shot.
Shoot him.
Hey!
With milk?
No. Gun down. Life over just
Going
like that.
through his
I
head.
usually get to shoot back.
Well, we all wind up dead.
You're
in the
getting
end, don't we?
farm
Try
diseases.
to live as long as possible.
What good is that?
Living?
What good is living if you ain't happy?
Who says I'm not happy?
I'm not.
You could.
Those goats move
I
in
don't
unison,
think I
man.
Well, that does it for the goats.
Still, thinking about what I've been saying?
I haven't stopped.
Changed your mind?
No, I'm trying to fix my hat, my glasses, and my headphones all at the same time. All right, one thing last to do is go shovel some poo.
What's the wheelbarrow for?
Hauling.
Hauling what?
Oh, I get to say what I want to say.
Shit.
Ah, and what are we supposed to do with this crap?
We are going to fertilize. Well, not now. It's
Just leave the goat milk out the
We're
spoil.
gonna put it in a nice big pile where it belongs.
We?
Well, you did say you wanted to help.
Yeah, guess I did.
So help. Pick up that shovel over there. We'll shovel it in, wheel it out, dump it, and we're good.
And you do this every day.
Mm-hmm. Most every day.
And you want to keep doing this every day.
It's my routine.
Shoveling shit.
Someone's got to do it.
That isn't the first time you've told me that.
I remember.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
You know, I did some digging on you, personally, not the shit kind. Know what I found?
I reckon you'll tell me.
You went back. What happened that day in the valley?
You saw the report. I'm not gonna talk about it.
Come on.
No.
Suit yourself. But you got a medal. You didn't have to go back. Had a wife and kid here. In a time where most of us were trying to figure out how to stay home. You went back.
You going somewhere with this?
Think it'd be fun if you told me why? While we're shoveling shit?
I was recon. You know that, I reckon. Was in the hospital, staring
the
at
pigs.
the ceiling.
They have the little
Magazines next to me on the
weird
bed.
things on their chin. I didn't know about those.
I had this moment. A moment of clarity.
A revelation.
Uh-huh. And the revelation was this. Them protesters weren't doing a damn thing. The hippies and the bands weren't changing anything. You know who was?
The Vietnamese? The Russians?
No. The news. You hit someone hard enough day in, day out with the realities of war, pretty soon they'll tire of it. Vietnam, that was our first time that close to war. So, I figured,
You figured.
you ain't the only one of us who's killed people.
Why do you think I offered you that job back in '74?
Turned it down for the same reason I went back. They were telling us our patriotic duty was to go and fight for our country. Well, that's what I did.
You weren't recon when you went back, though.
Went back with a camera. Talked them into letting me help with the press, keeping them safe and all that. So I did. And I took pictures. Took all the pictures I could. I fought in a different way.
Did you win?
We pulled out a Nam, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And now you're here. Great big war hero. Shuffling shit.
Yeah. Shoveling shit. You know what this is?
Tree?
Well, you ever seen a tree like it?
A tree's a tree.
Remember all them roasted chestnuts at Christmas?
Oh, sure. I mean, I kind of figured. Been by often enough to see the chestnuts myself. Why? Is it special to you?
This is an American chestnut tree.
Oh, hey, Saul. He's telling us about his American chestnut tree.
American, huh?
Woo!
Thought they all died.
What?
That's a rarity.
You remembered.
Pays to remember things.
Like the American chestnut.
I'm a little lost here.
Oh, a couple weeks back, Saul came by, said you couldn't make it. Business as usual. Saw I had a bucket of chestnuts, asked if pigs could eat them, so we got to talking, and I told him about chestnuts.
Uh-huh. And what did you learn?
Pork tastes better with chestnuts. And most American chestnuts had died off.
It's true. Long before you or I was born, the American chestnut was prized for the quality of its wood.
Jimmy'd like that.
Very educational.
that
thing.
he would, that he would.
Yeah.
But this tree, there ain't many like it left. American chestnuts almost all died out because of the Asian fungus around 1900 or so. The chestnut blight.
That's, what, like a couple 100,000 trees?
Oh, billions. 4 billion trees. Snuffed out practically overnight. Well, lumberjacks suddenly out of work in places like West Virginia. Those economies never recovered.
I thought West Virginia was coal country.
Logging, too, before it all died off.
Oh, snap.
Now there's trees like the General here, making nuts year-round. I feed 'em
And
to
fun
the
facts,
wolves.
even West Virginia facts.
I know, this is great.
Seems lonely.
It is lonely. Heartbreakingly lonely. To know everyone else you ever loved has passed on. So, I look after him and he looks after me. And I don't know. Sadie and I, we talked about being buried here, you know.
Changed your mind?
Brody's grave was enough for me. But, I don't know. I thought about having him moved. I don't know.
You've got plenty of years left in you yet. So, what's the moral of the story? With the trees, I mean.
Be wary of outsiders.
Heck no. There are trees out there that are blight resistant. Maybe even the General here, but I'm too afraid to find out. With enough time and horticultural understanding, we could have done something.
Preserved all these trees?
Maybe we could have. They are magnificent. It's just that
They are working on that.
I wasn't trying to teach you a
They
lesson.
might not
or
mention it in
anything.
this game, but
Well,
that is
you
being
did
happened.
make a point
That's
of it.
happening.
I did do that. It's a part of me is all. And God willing to live for 100 more years. I don't know. I see myself as a custodian of sorts. And one day I just
Standing on the rock.
Saul, go
I'm
ahead
so
and
so
meet
tall.
me at the van. Hey. Hey. Look at me. You're thinking about dying. Thinking you could pass this responsibility off to someone else. You don't have to do this. Give the tree another decade of your time.
well, the time my demise is sight. Someone ought to know about the tree.
Jimmy'd love to know about this.
Oh, Jimmy would cut it down.
He would.
Please. Don't tell him.
Hey, I'm good at keeping secrets, but Jimmy's Jimmy.
Please. Let me rest here. And if there's a way to... Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Hey, you got more to show me, right?
This is intense. Oh man, this is the Mandalorian right here. Ready?
The garage, huh?
No tour would be complete without the garage.
I have to ask, why a sports truck?
I think they're called coupe utility, but, you mean why not a sports car?
Yeah, I mean, I always figured you'd have a midlife crisis like the rest of us. Sports car, motorcycle, an affair, or something like that.
Couldn't really say why I love these so much. Saw mine one day, fell in love.
With that,
Mhm.
Is it an El Camino?
Had to bring her home with me.
Maybe.
I'll admit, it has a charm to it.
But
Yes.
she won't run.
No?
Just a
Well,
way.
pop the hood. Let's take a look.
We're gonna pop the hood.
Sure, already had my midlife crisis.
Motorcycle?
Sports car. And these puppies, well, you know, they're similar enough. Some of them even use the same engine. We can figure this out.
All right.
Now, let's see here. Can you get me that drop light? My eyes aren't what they were.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Saul's a good kid.
What's that?
Saul was a good kid. I like him. It was nice him coming by.
Yeah? That's good to hear. Never met anyone with so much promise
Never?
in my entire life. Saul's dad was a good man. Didn't think his kid had it. As a boy, he was too soft. But then he got older, graduated college, really came into his own. Eager, more capable than he knows.
Great listener.
Can you believe we were his age once?
Hard to admit.
When I was young, I thought I knew everything.
Yeah? And now?
Today I learned from you and him. about
It's
guys.
so funny to me.
Well, learn something new every day, I suppose. You check the spark plugs?
Give me a second. What about your boy?
Bill? Oh, he's fine, I guess.
You guess.
Hold on, here's the Bill
How old
story.
is he again?
Born in 60, so, 32 as of September.
Front is like a car, the back is like
Boy
a
would be
truck.
about his age.
The front is
Yeah.
where you kiss, and the
Wow.
back is where you El Camino.
What's this about you and Bill?
Oh, he don't want to talk to me no more.
What? Bill? Tow-headed little guy, always friendly and outgoing? That Bill?
It's
Well,
it's about Sadie.
Ah.
Yeah.
I love his
Hey,
chin.
mind if I
His
ask you
chin.
a completely unrelated question?
Mind if I talk to you like
What's
this?
with the airplanes at your neighbor's place?
Well, Chuck's farm.
Chuck? Huh. Yeah, what's with all the planes? There's no runway around here.
You know how farmers are. Hey, have you checked the air filter?
Yeah. And yeah, I know how you are. You got plenty of junk too, but I've never seen anyone else with
Just run away.
World War
It
II
won't
bombers
let
or
me.
something.
He won't
I
let
think he
me.
has a B-36.
No kidding.
You got no idea what a B-36 is, have you?
And the foggiest.
Well, a B-36 is a big old bomber made out of magnesium. Biggest America ever
Am I
had.
supposed to be here?
Took 2 train tankers to fill one up. And you could fly from Monday to Thursday without refueling.
So why does Chuck have one in his backyard, plus all the others?
Asked him about that once.
Okay. Wires loose here.
Where?
Right there. So, what'd he say?
Oh, dead navigator came to him in a dream.
What?
Mm-hmm. Dead navigator from the Korean War came to him in a dream, said the planes were in danger of being lost, and it was up to Chuck to save them.
So, Chuck's crazy.
Well, eccentric maybe, but, yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
If I did, I'd have a different job. Why, do you?
I figure we all move on in some way. Energy is neither created nor lost and all that.
So you're saying a dead navigator came to a farmer in the middle of nowhere, no offense, and told him that it was his job to preserve airplanes?
Yep.
So now there's a bunch of planes on a crazy coots farm.
And he keeps them safe. Can you think of a better place for him to be?
Well, want to try running it?
Sure.
All right.
Turn over, you son of a bitch.
Looks like she'll give you a few more years yet.
I should get an achievement for turning on while standing on a light
Remember Slick?
thing.
Sure.
He always wanted one of these.
Where's he now?
Fighting Saddam. Jimmy tried to find out. Classified, I heard.
Good kid.
Angry.
Well, maybe when he gets back.
Thinking of giving him the car is what? Thanks for his service?
I never wanted to be thanked for mine. That boy's seen more hurt than any of us. Deserves better than that old Pinto he is.
Yeah. Well, where to next? Shotguns, huh?
I always liked shotguns. Still do.
I like revolvers myself, when it's for sport.
Got a few of those.
Oh yeah? Which
I
is
can't
it?
left click on his face.
Slab-sided ones. They have a charisma. What about you?
Nothing special,
Are you
really.
close enough?
357s when I can. But this is a shotgun.
Yep. Figured we could shoot some skeet. Always liked shooting skeet. Taught Bill to shoot.
You're a good father.
Could have been better.
Name a father that could.
Oh shit! I gotta reload.
So, how do we do this? Who's going first?
You are.
You can go first.
If that wasn't like copyrighted, we could play it. Give him the shotgun. I'll give you the shotgun.
All right, then. This is more my speed. Hanging out, shooting guns.
Bro, shoot.
Next time.
I'm not sure guns and beers mixed, friend.
Oh, sure they do. Like peanut butter and
Nice.
very dangerous chocolate. Next time. Trust me, next time.
He didn't even reload
See
it.
you next time.
Oh, there's always a next time.
Dude, how's he not even reloading the gun?
Today we are done.
I've tried to tell you. I keep trying to tell you. There is no out. There is no done. You keep doing this. You'll never do anything else. Put.
And it's kaput.
You don't mean it.
If that's the way it's gotta be.
You have a choice.
You haven't listened to a word I've said.
I've been listening. I've been listening all morning. I've been listening to you talk about being sad and lonely and refusing to listen to reason.
I have my reasons.
Your reasons are good. Walk me to my car.
He's angry. He's gonna walk him to his car.
So,
Angry or
this is
disappointed?
it then.
It is.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Because I need to.
We're friends, goddammit. You don't get to get all stoic on me. I know losing her was hard, but there's gotta be something. Gotta be.
I can't take care of the farm like I used to. There isn't much point anymore.
So sell the farm. Move into the city. Meet someone new.
Do you believe in hell?
What?
Do you believe in hell?
I'm not scared of hell, if that's what you mean.
I didn't ask if you were scared. I asked if you believe.
I don't know.
Well, I do. And I think doing
Yeah, this guy's a mob guy.
I think that's where I'm headed.
And why? You think you can buy your way into heaven?
I can't take back what I've done. What I can do is do something right.
Why?
Because I want to see her again. That's all. I just want to see her again. And I figure I'll do one right thing with my life, just one thing. Maybe I'll get to see her again. One more time.
And this is your one right thing.
It is.
How do you know? How do you know if any of this is true?
I don't know. But I got the notion, and the notion's got me. So, least I can do is, tell you adios.
Just like that.
What else is there to say?
Not much, I guess.
No.
All right, then. Have it your way.
What?
I'll be back this evening. You get an afternoon. Do whatever you gotta do. Just, leave the door unlocked.
I can do that.
Adios, friendo.
Be seeing ya.
There should have been an achievement for most of these where it says, like, I have the high ground. I know this is a very serious game. And what I'm doing is killing the serious mood and tone for this game. I do appreciate the game for what it is, though. We have two things. I guess it's in the basement. Go fishing. Well, I don't know why I couldn't, like, not look down the thing. How prescripted is this game, though? Like,
Come on.
what cool.
Ooh, nice catch.
This time. Can I stand and fish? Oh, I can.
Come on.
We got it. We're getting fish.
Nice catch.
Is Admiral the superfish?
Come on.
It's interesting that he must want to die.
Nice catch.
Because I mean, he has any opportunity to like. It's interesting because like, he owns the farm. The mobster guy said you can sell the farm and move into the city. I'm assuming that you still have to work for that mob,
Nice
but you
catch.
wouldn't be doing that work. Can I not be done? So I mean, I don't see the use of you
Come on.
if ooh, this got to be him. Oh, we did it.
Ooh, nice catch.
Is it over now? Check on the horse, call the boy, call the neighbor. Oh shit, the house is all the way over here. I just don't understand. Like, you sell the house, you sell the farm, you move into the city. I don't see what the mob would really use you for anymore. I mean, the purpose of. I mean, I'm sure they'd find some use for you in some way, but. I love the grunt sound when he jumps. Checking on the horse. Come over here. The horse part 2.
All righty. Come on now. Come on now. That's a good boy.
Yeah, the horse never blinks.
Brung you an apple.
Horse also has weird
Granny
eyes,
Smith.
like it has
Oh,
cataracts or something.
it does.
Good boy.
It did blink.
Good boy. You've been real good to me. You know that? Brought me a lot of good luck.
Clearly, he is
Good
from the
times.
Midwest, saying "ope."
Without you, I don't
That's right.
do not know. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for all you've done. Gonna go ahead and leave the barn door open behind me when I go. You want to leave, you go find someone else. I figure I'll just, I'll leave you to it.
Oh, I can't open the barn door. Oh. Can't flip the switch. Look at this house, though. Such. The TV. It's very bright in here. We've been down there. It's the kitchen we were in earlier. Got some junk mail. So back in the day, where would you put your phone? Like in the hallway, right? So if you had that long ass cord, you can move it around the house. Can I play the piano? Ooh.
Beautiful.
Let's head upstairs. Maybe there's a phone up here. Oh shit. Slap that. Slap that. Okay, okay, stop. We don't get DMCA'd here. I'm sure I can play that song though. What about this one? Alright, nope, no, too much. 5 seconds. 5-second roll. What's the tape for? Can I put it in a tape player?
What?
Where's the phone? Oh, this is like his son's room. This guy ain't shredding.
So both his wife and son have passed.
So no, his
Or-
wife passed away, but his son, it sounded like he was 32, and we don't know where he's at. Where's the phone? He made pictures. I can't really I can inspect stuff, but I can't like use it or anything like that. It's just inspect. So it's very exploratory. And the phone. Call the boy and call the neighbor. What? I mean, there's no phone. It's got to be downstairs.
In the kitchen.
The kitchen. That makes more sense.
That's where our phone always was.
There it is. Ow, my shit.
Come on, pick up. Please pick up.
Dad?
Bill, well, how'd you know it was me?
Caller ID.
I don't know what that is.
It's the
No.
future.
Tells me who's calling.
Huh, that's some real fancy stuff you got there.
Uh-huh. Listen, I'm busy. Why are you calling?
Well, just, hadn't talked in a while.
And whose fault is that?
Can't we talk?
What is there to say? Hi, son. How are the grandkids?
How are they?
Oh, by the way, I put your mom in a rest home so I could stay there and take care of my goats and my pigs and my stupid horse. Because God forbid, I actually look after my sick wife.
That's not fair.
You put her in a home. You decided she wasn't good enough for you, and you put her in a home.
I didn't know what to do. The doctors there, they would.
How hard could it be? Alzheimer's isn't some terrifying boogeyman. Wasn't it you who told me to stay with the ones you love, no matter what? So what? You didn't love her anymore?
Don't you dare.
You gave her up. You gave her up to doctors and nurses.
Wow.
You know what they do to people in homes?
It was the best home money could buy.
You can't even choose other dialogue.
You and your damn money. Cared more about being a rich pig farmer than the people you were supposed to love.
Hey, I loved you both. I did everything for you, everything.
Yeah, right.
Bill, I didn't want this call to...
You wanted to put my mom in a home. So I'm not sure what you want matters.
Bill, I just called to say...
Say what? Sorry? Did you know I visited her? I found out where you put her, and I visited her. They said you visited sometimes.
She was my wife, Bill.
She cried, Dad. She cried. She wept and she sobbed and she kept asking me where you were. She was so scared, Dad. She was so scared. She wanted you to take her home.
The doctor said sometimes she was lucid, but I couldn't.
She was lucid, Dad. And I held her hand as she sobbed herself to sleep. And I kept holding her hand until they told me I had to go. Where were you? Taking care of your precious chestnuts? Feeding your heritage breed pigs?
No, Bill,
Save it. Talk to your goats or your pigs or whatever it is you do.
I just wanted to tell you goodbye, Bill. I've got some of your stuff all boxed up. If you wouldn't mind coming by in a few days to pick it up.
We'll see.
Goodbye, son.
You'll never make this right, Dad.
I'm still trying.
Oof. Wow. He should have told him about the whole mob stuff right there.
Hello?
Hey, Edie, it's...
Oh, hey, you. How are you doing? You know, I was just talking about you with Garth the other day. You know, we ought to visit.
Yeah, Edie, listen, I don't mean to interrupt. It's just, I'm on a tight schedule, and I need you to do me a favor, all right?
A favor? Sure. What you need?
I'm going to be out of town for a few days.
Oh? Finally taking my advice and visiting family?
I was wondering if you and Garth could make sure the animals were fed and watered, that kind of thing.
Oh, sure. We ain't got much going on.
Thanks, Edie. Listen,
Evan, what are you doing? Get down from there. Sorry, cats. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, the animals. I got them fed and watered for today. They should be good for tomorrow, too. But if it's too much of an imposition...
Not at all. We're happy to be imposed upon. You've been a good neighbor for so long. I'm glad you called me today.
Thank you, Edie.
In fact, hey, you should drop on by next Saturday afternoon. We're going out to the Harvest Festival with the grandkids, and I know how lonely it's been, what with Sadie gone and all. You should come with.
Well, I appreciate the thought, Edie. I don't think I'll be back in town by then, though. Sorry.
Oh, that's too bad. It's been real nice seeing you coming back to church again.
Oh, it's been real nice being welcomed back. But now I gotta go. Chores and such. You know how it is.
Oh, I sure do. Well, come on over sometime. Just got some gooseberries in. We're making pies, and we'd love to have you. I know they're your favorite.
That they are. Gotta go now.
There's a dog?
Hey, Brody. How you been?
Oh.
I know I don't drop by as much as I ought. I ain't got an excuse.
It's getting dark.
I still remember when I picked you up. Bill hadn't been himself lately. I wanted him to... I wanted him to smile again. Oh, he saw you and I could see that spark in his eyes. The boy was still mad at me, though, and I guess he had a right to be. But you? You he loved. And I think he came around on me, too. Good boy. Good boy. You want to know something, Brody? I always believe dogs go to heaven, because all dogs is fundamentally good. Now, even the mean ones, they're good too. They just, hurt or starving or sick or scared. So,
I gotta fix
I know where you
fix
are.
this. I'm missing the dialogue. Oh.
And I know Sadie's probably with you right now. I done wrong, Brody. I done a lot of wrong. And I don't know if I can make up for it. I want to tell you I'll see you soon, but the truth is I do not know. I don't know if I was good enough for you. Or her. I don't know if I did my best. So, this may be goodbye. I love you. And I miss you all the same.
No, get a shotgun from the cellar, cook a meal. Oh shoot. Can I pick a less messy weapon? I can't even shoot the gun.
You know why they picked the shotgun, right?
Because you can't miss?
Yep.
Oh shit. What am I cooking? Slop? What am I cooking? Are you laughing at me? Look, I cut the potatoes. Flip trick the... We're adding it to the pot. It's so bright in this kitchen. Is the stove on? There's nothing in there. Place meal on the dining room table. Shit. Shit.
Goop. You made goop?
Place meal on dining room table setting. Am I doing this wrong? Oh my god. This is the hardest fucking thing ever. Is that good enough?
Man, I hope you put some salt in that goop.
I can only inspect the salt. I can't actually place the shotgun at place the shotgun at the dining room table setting. I think I did that. Place the meal at the dining room table setting. Shit. Dining room. Oh.
Is that the dining room?
Oh my god. There we go. I like how I look at chat and I see Lomo be like dining room, dining room. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. Oh my god. All right, sit at the table. Can I sit at this table spot?
No, it's because we don't have a real dining room.
In our house.
So you don't.
We just
think
have
of
a
that as
kitchen
dining
table.
room,
Yeah,
right?
we don't have a. We just have a kitchen table. Is he inviting a whole house?
Just like
full?
you couldn't find the telephone because we don't have one of those corded phones, right?
Yeah. I swear the quality keeps dropping here. Is it okay on your end?
I can't tell.
Okay.
It seems all right.
There's all this commotion outside. Here he comes. Oh! Wow. That's it? I honestly thought there'd be more to it than that.
It sounded. It didn't sound like a real gun.
It was a suppressed pistol. So the guy was so pro, he didn't need to have a shotgun. But I mean, like, and you think like the fact that these two knew each other for at least a decade, and then he knew he had to do this. Like he was talking to somebody outside, and he just had to go in. It was all muffled. We couldn't really understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
And
He probably just wanted to get it over with.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit rough for him too at the same time. I don't know. There's no music, just pig oinks.
Yeah, you're probably being eaten right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not.
It's pretty messed up.
A little bit.
But I mean, probably. Special thanks to Morgan Joe Wintergreen. I thought the voice acting was pretty good. Thought the voice acting was good. It's unfortunate that no one will ever really know the reason why. Like his wife was dead. Continue. Is there New Game Plus? What is continue? Okay, all right, yeah, fair enough. All right, we're done.
Huh.
This is the last scene.
Do you think there's another way to do that ending?
I don't know. Do we know if this game has multiple endings? I mean, the way that we were kind of railroaded with all the dialogue, I would assume no. Let's look at the achievements, though. We can do that, and maybe it'll, unless they're hidden.
Maybe the conversation with your son could be different or something.
I doubt it, because I mean, you don't get a choice to. There's a handful. There's 25 achievements. Okay, ensure the pigs were well fed. Work harder, not smarter. Oh yeah, I didn't help him with the thing, so there's some replayability for achievements anyway. Right on target, better than being shot. Oh, I must have been able to throw something at him. Cook an American specialty. Oh, that's funny. That's interesting. Cook a dish a farmer would like. I could have probably had a baked. It looks like you can make a baked potato there. I could have just did more than what I did. I had some mash.
You had goop.
Goop.
You had potato goop.
I just cut the potatoes,
I put that
put it
baked
in the water.
potato in the microwave and had a baked potato. You made some kind of goop. I don't even know what that means, goop. Is that mashed potatoes?
Taco Toto. You could waste not, want not. You could have made a taco, fancy dinner, spicy thing.
You could have made a taco?
I guess. Hearty American special. Looks like soup, it looks like.
Huh.
Nothing left to say, get a busy signal. Oh, you could have called your son back there instead of calling the neighbor. Listen to every record one last time. Tape head has listened to every tape one last time. So nothing really, I don't think story-wise would have changed there.
Just experiencing.
Just the full experience, yeah. So it's time to sell this. No one's
Had a shower with your dad simulator was the ad that popped up on
That wasn't an ad. I have a copy of that game for available for somebody to play. I don't think you can buy Shower with your dad anymore. We'll check that. We'll verify on Steam if you can buy that game anymore. I'm pretty sure they pulled it, but I have a giftable copy. And
if anybody wants.
And so I have gifted that game to at least 2 people, and they've always gave it back. They declined it. I forget who I gave it to the first time, and it was years ago. The second time I tried to give it to Chase.
Was Lone Wolf the first one?
No, it wasn't Lone Wolf. It wasn't Lone Wolf. The second time I tried to give it to Chase, I was like, "Hey, Shower with your dad simulator, right?" And he's like, "No, I don't want this. What are you doing?"
That's creepy.
So there's nothing being sold right now for this card. Starting at 10. Well, there is one selling it for 10. Last one sold was at 9. Let's go ahead and try to sell this one for 8. So we're going to buyer pays 08. Let's see if that sells. We'll see. I'm going to sell our pig cards. Maybe we'll make 12 cents for playing that video game.
So what did you think about it?
It was good. I think if the voice acting would have suffered, I mean the voice acting wasn't like it wasn't like knock your socks off, but it was good. I thought it was pretty solid, and I think if it wasn't for that, then I think that game would have not sold well. But I mean, everyone says it's overwhelmingly positive. I would agree that it was a good game. I kind of expected a little bit more dialogue choices that would help steer the story, in the sense that you might have another alternate ending. Maybe it's the way you die. Maybe it's a way that you can you're set on like not participating anymore, but perhaps there's a way that you bond with that person that you've been with so long that he's like, all right, I'm gonna let you go, just disappear. You gotta just disappear. But the thing is I don't think your character wanted to disappear in that sense, because he also said, like, gave the opportunity for you to move to the city. And again, he's a farmer, so he probably wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that. But I think it was implying that, like, this guy was ready to be done with life for whatever reason. I think he might, the guilt with his wife, I'm sure, is part of it. The fact that his son, resented him. The neighbors were nice, but like he was getting older. He didn't have his like dog anymore, and he was kind of tired of doing the same thing over and over again. So you kind of were able to see all that unfold in about a little over an hour of gameplay. And it was good. I thought it was okay. I mean, I think I paid. It was like, I think it's originally $15. I think I paid for it while it was on sale. I think I paid like $7. I think I paid like $7.50 for it or something, like half off. What else? I mean, there were some educational things in there. There's some fun facts. They name dropped West Virginia. That was cool. It would not let you shoot the man with the shotgun whenever you're skeet shooting. I was disappointed with that.
Your character.
It's not your character. That's true. Your character was not that kind of guy. He was a loving farmer man who was just ready to be done with the mob. So it's 10-11. I want to play a little bit of the Vampire Survivors game because it's actually pretty fun. And we'll do that right now. Would you be willing to help me out? Would you be willing to change my stream info settings to Vampire Survivors? Vampire Space Survivors. There it is. Thank you. Kill all survivors. It's not my first playthrough. I haven't beat the game, so I guess it necessarily isn't a... I don't know. Let me full screen it. I guess before we start, Kill All Survivors. We should play that. Maybe I should reinstall that game, Lone Wolf, at some point. And maybe we should play that game. I hate that game. It's not bad, but it's kind of frustrating. What does power up mean? What does this mean? We can power up more. We can put points into this? So instead of unlocking people, we could have been doing other stuff. Sadly, there's no mobile version of this. Did you look into it? I'm curious if this is on like Switch or anything like that. But no mobile. This game could be super mobile friendly because, again, you only need an analog stick or some sort of movement thing. So honestly, they could just have it. It could be a one thumb game on a cell phone, kind of the bottom of the screen, and then the rest of it is just you moving around. It'd be great. Fires one more projectiles, all weapons. Oh, look, it's 5,000 for that one. I'm only at 500. How do you refund power up? I don't have any. The magnet items picked up at 25% per rank, max 50. So we can pay for that one. Looks like these ones. Yeah, we'll do that one. What's the speed? Projectiles moves faster. Duration lasts longer per rank. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that one. I like that one. And then it's 200. Do you see what they do when you buy one item? They increase the price on everything by like 10%. So now I can't buy anything else. What a bunch of butts. Who should we play as? I like this guy because he's got the projectile. He's a projectile boy. We'll go with this. Here we go. We're doing things. Let's pick up that item. I feel like they've increased the graphical fidelity of this game.
that all of the candidates for Legioncio are guys.
Yeah, that's true, but they have staff that that are female.
Are they all from the U.S. this year?
No, there's
Oh,
a
okay.
German guy.
Okay.
I think one's from California. One's from.
I'm going through and reading stuff. I was just looking at the names, like, huh, okay, this seems a little weird.
Okay. I hopped into JRS and looked how and for me, I don't know if it's kosher to talk about online, but in my opinion, there was one person that was very obvious that was
Standing out as the best candidate.
that was responding to questions, and there was one. So what they did is they would create a separate thread for each response.
Yeah.
Not like a running single thread for all responses at JRS.
Yeah.
And there was one candidate that only responded to like 3 questions, even though there was like about 7 or 8. And then the other one actually responded to all the questions. And I'm like, well, clearly, like,
big
it
thing.
looks kind of bad if you're not going to respond to the other questions. Wow, I'm not having a good time with this guy right now.
Sadly, there's no mobile version of this.
Kind of want to go play a different character then. I mean, I liked the guy before, but
Is your character like a Nosferatu, or does you kind of look like a naked, wrinkly man?
I don't think I'm a vampire.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm like a vampire hunter. Oh, I think I picked the Bible. I'm not sure. I did. I have Bibles and garlic farts.
Oh, I see him. He's more like a Conan looking.
He's like a Conan
Right.
guy.
He's really tiny on my screen.
Oh yeah, because you're not full screen. Oh my gosh, the bats are coming. Do you have like a? Can you get me the goldfish crackers? Thank you. And can you get me some water?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're hydrated?
Yeah.
Go get
What do we want? What do we want? We want some fire wands. It shoots fire. So what does the money do? Is it just points in some way? Or is it like cash that you can spend? Because it doesn't seem. Maybe it makes the coins go up. The yellow, let me see here. No, yeah, it does. It does 10 coins. What do we want? We want more projectiles. We want increased projectile speed. You can the money you earn can be used for upgrades on the menu. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we didn't have a whole lot, but we're getting some. And that whip is pretty good. Exclamation! Oh! Magic wand fires at. Let's just mix it all up. Exclamation point whip it. Alright, inflict. Increases inflicted damage by 10%. Character moves 10% faster. Let's be spinach. Shit. I hit a little bit there. Fires 1 more projectile. Everything's 1 more projectile. What do we like here? The knives would be good. It's the direction I'm looking. I wonder if they're like, this game is pretty basic, and it's like literally $3. I wonder if there's a way to like just fast track and have everything unlocked and then like try like the harder mode because you have all that shit available to you. Augments health by 10%, base damage, base area up to 40%, base, yeah, we'll do this one. So what are we doing tomorrow? I'm trying to think what I'm doing tomorrow. Here's a fun little fact too. I know no one's been redeeming fun facts, but I like to give them out. The other day, we were supposed to go work on some costume stuff today, actually, out towards Summersville, and I will hydrate as soon as Lisa comes back with more hydration fluids. Let's do the Bible. We did not end up going. A couple days ago, I came home with Cooper from driving him around a little bit. I had a break for lunch for work and wanted to get him out of the house a little bit. And hold on. The fire one, we could use more damage. And so I took him around back, and this is after like a lot of the snow had started melting. And he was starting to walk down the hill in our backyard. Our side yard and our backyard has like an incline. It's West Virginia, so there's a lot of hills. And so he was hanging out by our apple trees, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go over here." I'm like, "Hey, buddy, it's super slippery over here. It's slick. You might fall down. Let me pick you up." So I pick him up, and I walk down the hill just a little bit, and sure enough, I fall on my ass. Well, actually, I don't fall on my ass. I fall on my right shoulder while I'm holding him in my right arm. And as I'm going down, like I'm sliding down the hill, and I'm like, I gotta make sure he doesn't fall and hurt himself. So I'm like putting all my weight on my one shoulder and his weight, so that I can absorb all the hit. And because I don't want him getting hurt. And I just totally, my arm is like, it had hurt all day that day, and it still hurts today if I move it above my chest. It's getting better, but right now it's been pretty rough. And so I had messaged the folks that I was going to help build costumes, and I'm like, I can maybe do some basic trimming, but I can't do much with my right arm right now. More garlic. It looks like a pair of testicles. And hold on. How many? Let's go magic wand here. Oof. I made them all die. I should have waited. I had them get all close to me. And so I fell on my shoulder, and the pain was so horrible. Like I felt like a jolt of sharp pain go down from my shoulder into my elbow, and my elbow and my shoulder feel very bruised now, and it is what it is, and I'm sure I'll be okay. And for a while I was like, shit, I think I could go to like, you know, urgent care, Med Express kind of thing. Like hopefully I don't have to do any of that. And it started to calm down after I iced it and stuff, but kind of felt bad because I was gonna like go and help these guys with some one guy specifically with some costume build stuff, and I messaged him. I'm like, hey, this is what happened, and it's probably not a good idea for me to like put too much stress on my arm because when you're cutting that plastic and you're trying to help with fitting somebody, you're moving your arm around a lot. So thankfully I'm able to, like, with video games and most things today, I've been just using my left arm. A whip fires one more projectile. Do the whip. The whip's been really handy. Oh my gosh, I'm getting eaten. Yeah, get good, right? I'm not very good. What? I mean, Fearmeister, what's the character you recommend? Is it this guy or somebody else? I mean, I know I need to get good, so maybe it doesn't matter, but like, is there somebody else better to play as? This guy seems to be pretty OP in my opinion, at least for attacking. Oh my gosh! That guy is good, but I'm not a fan of the big knife fan. Oh, yeah, I gotcha. The whip seems to be pretty nice, as long as you can get the enemies horizontal here. Because it also pushes them back. Oh my god. So when the bats fly in, they push all the other enemies toward you. Alright, here we go. Base area 10%. We'll keep going with the whip here. Whip's being good to us. And get this grayish blue bat to die. We'll be getting some fat loot maybe. Oh gosh. I lost which one of the gray bat I was attacking. I see him down there, but I need some health. Oh man. There's probably some pro strats on this game too. Get the bracer, okay. So disappointed I'm getting, oh my gosh. I want to kill these gray bats. They usually have fat loot. Come on. Come on, die. Come on, die. Oh shit, now we're stuck in all this. It's, oh, a chicken. Oh no. Oh no. I got it. It's not a whole lot of health though. Oh. Oh, this is not looking good. Oh, please go away. Somebody die! Shit! You can hear me talking on Lisa's stream over her headphones right now. Like, the slowness catching up. Anyway, I suck at this game, but I love it. It's such a fun game, and it's so cheap. Alright. Hold on. Alright, we're gonna try a different character. I got money now, so we can go to the power-ups. What were we thinking? Should I put... How much do I need for this now? 600? Revives once with 50% health? Oh, that's cool, but it costs a ton. And it's only going to get more expensive as you buy those items, though. Gain 10% more coins per rank. Oh, that's pretty good, because then you can stack everything there. 50% more. You can refund the upgrades if you want. Yeah, I saw that at the top there. And I only have enough for like one upgrade, to be honest, so... Effects from weapons last 15% longer. Projectile. So is it all about the projectile? It's probably all about that speed. Uses weapons too. I'm going to throw it in here. Alright, we'll do that. Now we're going to go back. We should find somebody that can hack this game so we can just have everything unlocked. This game seems so simplistic that there's probably like a text-based config file that I can edit to change my currency. I think we said that guy kind of sucked. And this girl was okay, but the whip guy was okay. Gains 10% more experience every 5 levels. Projectiles. Damage. Alright, we'll go with the girl. I think the girl was kind of slower at the beginning, right? Because she only had that can't control, just kind of shoots. Shields from damage when active. Alright, we'll start the garlic process. I like 3 because the rune tracers get good. Oh yeah. Oh shit, okay. Oh, thanks. Is that all that's left?
Yep. Now you can visually see. So remember how I said the weather said it wasn't supposed to start snowing until tomorrow night?
Is it snowing right now?
It is, yeah. There's a layer of snow over everything.
I get so nervous getting close to the bats. Okay, great. Well, tomorrow, one thing we need to do tomorrow is take the that swing down.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it tonight, but I forgot. Have you heard from your mother? Have you heard from your mother? Okay.
She said she was gonna follow up after my death.
I don't care what your dad thinks anymore.
I know, he made that very clear.
Yeah, red one. Oh, 8% more experience. Raises inflicted damage by 10% though. Whoa, we doubled. Fires quickly face direction. Augments health by 10%. Reduces incoming damage by 1. I don't know. I always kind of stack my stuff towards damage, which probably I gotta probably round that out, right? I keep forgetting. Look at that. Those bats come right at you, and the garlic's just like, you just kill them. The poop birds. You got poop birds. You got rune tracers. Passes through enemies, bounces around. That's the one you're talking about, Fearmeister. So the bigger bats, I think are they getting through? I think so. In a game like this, defensive buffs only mitigate mistakes. Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to think about it. But I'm not very good. I'm not a pro zone boy. But you're right. I mean, you can just like walk right at the bats here. And again, that's like a confidence thing that you have to kind of like just get past. Cooldown reduced by 2. When I see something like that, like 0.2 seconds, it's like really. But you can have like more projectiles. I wonder if the waves are based on how many things you have killed. Probably not. It's probably based on time. Because now the skeletons are coming in. That seems to be pretty common around like the 3-minute mark, right? What else? Do you have any fun facts you want to share, Lisa? I don't think that was a waste right there.
No.
You have any fun facts or things I should talk about? Mass Skelly Rush is 11 minutes. Okay. Yeah, what should I talk about while I'm playing this game? Because, I mean, it's not like... I mean, people are watching, but I can also try to talk at the same time. talked about the house next door going on sale. I talked about falling and hurting my shoulder.
Are you still injured?
Yeah, my shoulder still hurts. We'll do the whip.
I would love to know when people started learning how to swim, if you remember, and what that experience was like. Do you remember?
I never took formal classes to swim, and I was always afraid of swimming when I was a kid. I think I just kind of self-taught myself. Not that I'm amazing still to this day. Probably whenever I was in high school.
You don't think you learned how to swim until high school?
Yeah, like properly. Yeah.
Well,
Like-
I mean, like not necessarily learning how to do various strokes, but just in general, like swimming at a pool.
I tell you
knowing
what,
how to tread water.
I still am so at treading water to the point where I don't feel safe going into too much, like into deep water for a long period of time. And when I say a long period of time, I'm talking like
5
more than 5 minutes. Like, and then I need to be out because I will die, because I won't be able to.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not.
So we're talking like you would be wanting a tube if you went into deep water, or some sort of swimming device.
I would need some sort of flotation assistance.
Well, maybe if Cooper learns how to swim, we can also get you to learn how to swim too.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. As long as there's like a masculine buff body swim lifeguard that can pull me out of the deep end. I mean, they don't have to be masculine, I guess. They just gotta be able to be strong enough to pull me out, because I'll just be dead weight. Alright, we got the wings, we got the bracers. That's what we want, right? I want to be pro zone like Fearmeister. Hold on, can I pause it? Here we go. Fearmeister's saying bracer and hollow heart if you find them. Those will give you big upgrades to your weapons. Okay. Hollow heart and bracer, which we got the bracer. We'll call David Hasselhoff. Yeah, if you can get David Hasselhoff at his current age, I'd be down. That's alright. I bet you he's probably pretty good. What's this thing do? What does this thing do? They're frozen. Not attacking very well. We killed the giant praying mantis, so we get fat stacks. Oh, it's one of those. We need that. How do I continue? Oh my gosh, the bats.
12 sandwiches is the serving. 12.
That's not very many.
It doesn't seem like a whole lot. It's
It-
pretty tiny.
And what's the fat content on that?
8 grams. 12 sandwiches.
They must put a lot of fat in their peanut butter for like the flavor then.
So their peanut butter is roasted peanuts, hydrogenated vegetable oil,
Fudge brownies.
canola oil, sugar, palm oil, dextrose, lemon, salt, and soy lecithin. There's a lot of stuff in your peanut butter. Holy cow. You need to get on the better peanut butter wagon.
Yeah, honestly, they're okay, but like I still have not found a peanut butter that I like more than the natural Jif.
There's been some other decent ones, but they don't always mix really great. I don't think, does the natural one have salt in it? I can't remember.
I'm sure it does.
I thought it just, because if you roast the peanuts before you make it, before you make them super creamy, then you still get a lot of great flavor without adding salt.
It's amazing. This game, I tell you what, like it's so simple, but man, it's like it's so good. I hope this guy becomes like the next Super Meat Boy developer, and he
Why do
may.
you like this game so much?
Why? I don't know. It has a classic feel. You had the like a quick leveling concept, an experience concept. It's a simplistic game. You don't, based on where you're positioned, That's where you're going to shoot with some of your projectiles. So you only play this game with one analog stick. That's all it takes. So the controls are simple and easy to understand. You can kind of understand how the enemies work pretty rapidly. So some have more hit points than others.
So not a huge learning curve. Got it. And it's got this great confetti when you level up. Oh my gosh, let's blow that.
The bats are susceptible to my garlic. They will die. I was afraid of the bats until Fearmeister showed me the way. I feel like there should be like a Batman quote.
Yes. That. Power of garlic.
And that's only if you have the garlic though. Cooldown reduced by 1 second.
You don't have the garlic, you're doomed,
Where should I go? Whips? I got whips on the backside now, right? Reduces weapon cooldowns by 8%. Was that good? Does he have that unlocked? What? Yeah, empty tome. There we go, empty tome. I like the idea that the empty tome is literally a book that's just blank. If that's what the case. Oh no! Oh no! We haven't really revealed. There we go, some food. A whole lot of food stuff. Sucks when you get so high level, you have to get so many of these things. Oh, I don't want the food. Spinach? Is spinach or rune tracer? What would you think, Lisa?
What?
Spinach or rune tracer? I'm waiting for Fearmeister to tell me what to do.
Why would spinach do anything?
Because base damage up by 10%. All base damage. I'm doing it. I'm doing spinach.
Yeah, sure.
Ah, shit. Shit. Fudge! Get that chicken! Gotta push my way through. It's skeleton time now. It's 11 minutes in. He knows this game so well.
Oh my god. This is terrifying.
XP? Or armor? Wand. Okay. There's a treasure chest back there. Alright, we're going back to the rune tracer. We skipped it last time. so many items. That sounds like Super Mario 2. Super Mario 2 whenever it's like you're doing the slot machines in Mario 2 after the end of the level, and it's like dun 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 whenever you fuck it up, because that's what you always hear. But like that spinning sounds like the slot machines. Oh my gosh, I'm leveling like crazy. Magic wand. Oh my gosh, look at this. Fire? No, we went the bracer, right? Bracer. I'm thinking bracer. I'm gonna go bracer.
Did you read the responses from the people being elected?
Yeah, a handful of them. I didn't sit there all day reading, but I read through the questions. I found specific questions that I wanted to see answered, and then I jumped to those responses and then read them, and then based my decisions off of like only a handful of those questions. Because if not, you're gonna be sitting there all night.
I mean, there are 9 pages worth of responses just for one.
And that's for one candidate,
Yeah.
and then there's what, 6 candidates, I think, and some of those candidates have like 11 pages worth of content. There's the Hollow Heart.
First tag clicked on Carolina Garrison.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart to read.
Makes sure what?
It breaks my heart to read some of his answers. He has a son. He said that his stage 4 cancer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's rough.
There's so many ghosts. Oh my god!
What do they respond to? Oh, you're dead.
This game's so fun. Even when I'm dead, it's such a good time. It's such a good time.
That's how you know it's a good game, though,
Yeah,
right?
it's so fun.
'Cause you know, it doesn't.
What's weird to
doesn't
me
matter if you die.
is like I've been wanting to play a game. There's 2 things I like about games, and I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing for me right now because I've been playing off and on that Loop Hero game on Switch now, which is like not graphically intensive. Neither is this game, and I wanted to start playing Earthbound. By the way, if you have a Switch and you have that subscription service that lets you play different games like the NES and SNES games, they just added Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound to the library just like the other day. I think it was like Thursday. Rune Tracer did work. Yeah, it did. This game is so good. I think I'm gonna stop though. It's getting late. My problem is, and we can talk a little bit. I'm not gonna like just bail on you guys, but game wise, I think I'm done. They cleave through everyone once you get a lot. Yeah, that's true. Because as I was running away from enemies, they were still bouncing through the hordes that were like kind of chasing from behind, and that was slick. I mean, what I can't say it enough. What a simple game that is addicting to play, and cheap and affordable. It's so good. I've only played this game for 90 minutes. Looks like Lone Wolf owns it now. Fear Master's been playing 13 hours. Jeez, man.
So how many levels are there? Are there levels? Like, is that how it works?
I think it's just play until you die. And there's different waves that come after there's so many so much time has passed. The waves get different. Oh, there's 3 maps, and it goes to 30 minutes. So what happens after 30 minutes? Does it say, like, you win? What does it do?
You win. You haven't died.
You haven't died in 30 minutes.
The game crashes. That's a spoiler.
It's a secret.
Do you not have a retain emote?
No, I have a refund emote.
What?
Find me a retain. Find me something that's like I can use.
Like a retainer?
That's ridiculous and disgusting. The retainer could be an inside joke for everyone who gets it. Forest, library, and empty map
refund.
with random waves. Don't refund. Yeah, I like that. I have room for since you guys have supported the channel for as long as we've been going, they opened up additional emotes for us to be able to have, which we can do. They originally, and they changed it up with Twitch a little bit, and you can gain more emotes as well as you have X amount of subscribers during a certain length of time. So the next one for me is insane. It's like I think I have it set to 30 right now. I think that's the number. Like I have to have 30 subscriptions, or maybe it's like 35 or something like that, to get the next emote unlock, so that I can share it with anybody else and we upload a file. It gets passed through their approval system that they have, and then anybody that's a subscriber can use that emote. But they did give us I think I don't know if it's just something new or they simply just say
Yeah, that's a good idea.
so Ben says even a green version of the refund that says retain would work.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think I have the original image that I used to create that refund logo, and I can just scrub it out and then just rechange the font type, and then swap it. Yeah. I mean, let me get away from like you should see me instead of seeing like me in the little corner, and just looking at my Steam library. Let's go here. There we go.
Did you talk about the Olympics?
Oh, I have 5 out of the Olympics. I gotta stop eating so I can talk. Have you guys been watching the Olympics?
Really?
Have a good night.
That's it?
No, I tell you what. We double dipped in the sense of Olympics with our 1-year subscription of Peacock.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Summer Olympics got delayed last year in Japan, and they just had it just this past summer, and the Winter Olympics was this year. So 1-year subscription, we paid $50. I got to watch full coverage live of NBC with the NBC channel and the USA channel, and then you get everything backlogged. So anything that plays, that airs within the next 24 hours, you can watch it in full. And I'm talking like prelim games like for sports that you never see on TV.
Yeah. Like curling.
You occasionally see curling on TV, but like stuff like curling, curling is super fun. Like it's super cool. But a lot of the niche sports that you don't really see a whole lot of, Peacock's got it covered. Yeah, the snowboard. I didn't see the snowboard relay. Was that last night?
That was 2 days ago, I think.
Not the relay.
The women's team board or snowboard. I think was it the relay?
See, you don't even know what you're doing.
Hold on, let me think. Well, but they had all of them go down at once, and that was like our first goal.
You know what we need? We need that other camera that I have in the bottom corner where I normally have it on the record player, to occasionally have it set up to where, like, if you wanted to be on here,
Yeah.
we can have it pointing at you, and we can have like a side by side where we're both talking.
Like a discussion. Yeah. Almost like a podcast,
Yeah,
except not.
we can make that happen. I
Not
like
tonight.
that. Not
Not
tonight.
tonight.
All right, not tonight. You're looking beautiful, by the way, though.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Anyway, I didn't. So last night with the men and women's teams, I did not watch the Olympics last night. Rather than watching the Olympics, I played the first 5 minutes of Earthbound, and then I played probably about an hour, almost an hour. No, it was like 45, 30 minutes, something like that, of Loop Hero. Because I haven't been playing video games. Like
But the night before.
The night
you were telling
before.
me about Shaun White.
I watched the Shaun White, the half pipe stuff.
Yeah.
And so Shaun White, this is the last Olympics that he was doing. I think this was his fourth Olympics. I think he's like our age. I think he's like 35 now, 36. And like, when you're pushing 40 and you're competing against like 16, 17-year-olds, I mean, it's not going to be, you can have as much experience as you want. Your body eventually is not going to do the things you want to do mentally anymore. And I was bummed for him. I watched his last run and he didn't get, like, he was doing some cool stuff right at the beginning, and then he kind of bit the corner of his board into the snow and lost his speed, and then he was pretty much done. So I think he finished fourth. And that same third run, that one Japanese guy, I can't think of his name right now, that younger guy with the dreadlocks, I think he had dreadlocks. Dude, he was insane. Like, I have never seen anybody, and I watch that stuff like off and on. I'm a huge Olympics fan, especially I like the Winter Olympics, but I've never seen anybody snowboard like that. The kid was nuts. He was hitting over, like, you think of 1080s being like a big deal, but you're seeing bigger tricks than 1080s, like 14 somethings and 13 12s, or wow, they're picking up. I don't know what the full rotations were, but they were big rotations, bigger than three full spins. And what are you saying? The Americans won the relay. She, they. What are you doing? You're doing pronouns right now? They were 40 and 36. Wow. So the ladies were okay. So the ladies were 40 and 36. That's pretty good. I think it always depends on the sport that they are doing, right? So when you go watch Olympians that are curling players, some of those guys are in their late 40s. They were laying down 1440s. Okay. I thought it was funny. The one guy knew he wasn't gonna place, so he's like, "Yo, I'm just gonna go for the world record on the highest snowboard jump." Did you see that? It was like 25 point something and change feet in the air, and he dropped right into the pipe, and that was like his first trick. Was just a simple like method trick or something like that, but then he hit 25 feet in the air like it was nobody's business. It was nuts.
And broke a record.
And he broke a world record, yeah. And so he his next trick up, he tried to do something else a bit more fancy. He didn't land it very well. He lost his speed, but he knew he wasn't really in a medal position. But the guy was like, you know what? F it. I'm just going to go and jump 25 feet in the air with my snowboard really quick. And then if I screw anything else up, doesn't matter because I set a world record for height anyway. And that all happened in the span of 20 minutes. The Shaun White run that was super hyped for people. Were like hoping that he would begin, placing somewhere in the medals list because it's his last run. It was a big deal. Like this was the last time he's going to be at the Olympics doing the half pipe, final run, and he did. He didn't do as good as he wanted to, I'm sure. And he kind of bailed and he lost a lot of his speed on that third trick. But that plus the super jump that we saw, plus we saw the one Japanese kid that came back into first place. His second run was insane, and the judges kind of screwed him over on points too. And even the announcers were pissed off that like the judges screwed over this Japanese kid from the points. Because one of the announcers, I guess he had like 25, 30 years of experience in snowboarding, whether it was like him in competition, and like being a coach and all that stuff. I'll have to check this out. Mixed snowboard. Let's take a look. So was it on NBC or was it on USA, or what channel do you remember watching it on? I'll have to look it up because I'll be able to, like, since it's already happened, I can go and pull it up on the TV later and just watch the whole thing. NBC last night. Okay. All right. I don't know what all Olympic sports are in the Winter Olympics that I think are fun. I like watching the skeleton a lot. That's pretty cool. I think the other day, right before I started watching the men's snowboarding stuff, when I switched over channels, they had the women's. I was watching some women's skeleton, and I don't care if you're a guy or a lady.
It's scary.
because height and weight definitely play a factor, and I think the guys do go down a bit faster because of this their build, but like
Gravity.
because of gravity, yeah, but they're usually a bit heavier and a bit taller. But the German the couple of the German girls were going down the skeleton luge or whatever it is at like 70-80 miles an hour, and I'm like, can you imagine flying through something? You're not strapped to that thing, head first, can barely control it because you can lean a little bit and there's some things you can do with it, but like if you crashed and you didn't crash right, I'm pretty sure you're gonna die. And I get they have helmets on, and their helmet technology is probably way more sophisticated than it was in the 80s or the 90s whenever that sport was introduced. I think it was introduced in like the 90s. I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's newer than like traditional bobsledding and like the two-man sledding and stuff like that. Like the 4-mans, the 2-mans, and all that. What Olympic sport, summer or winter, would you like to compete in? That's a good question. What would you compete in? Does it have to be a team sport? I think honestly,
I mean, if we could compete in anything,
if I could be an athlete that's very good at that specific sport, I would probably say ice hockey. And that's because if I'm that good, I probably play for the NHL as well, and that means I get paid well.
that means you have a real job.
I have a real job, plus I can go to the Olympics, because most of those guys also play in the NHL. I can't skate really well, but I think it'd be cool to be a hockey player. But it's hockey aside, because hockey's kind of more of a streamlined, popular sport, as opposed to like something like speed skating or something like that. I think speed skating would be really fun. But it's super dangerous. Those people fall, and those blades, they nail somebody else. I mean, they're wearing, spandex material, but unless they've got some sort of like special other layers, I mean, they're gonna get messed up. Wait, NHL barred players from being in the Olympics this year? Are you serious? Is it because they were afraid of everyone getting COVID and they can't finish off the season? That's my guess. I think that's... Are we just chatting or are you still playing Vampires? What's it say?
Oh.
Can you change it to
Let's
just chatting?
change that.
Yeah. But... Or you can change it to like Olympics or something. I don't know if that's an option. People might be talking something like that. All Olympic hockey's players are like college kids. I watched probably about... I think I've watched maybe about 15 minutes of a women's game. And I was impressed with like the speed. Because I remember, and maybe I don't know what the rules are. I just remember at some point in Olympic hockey, the rink was wider. So the game was much slower than NHL because the NHL rink isn't as wide. And you widen up that space, it takes a lot longer for passes to connect, and then the game feels much slower because you still have the same amount of people on the ice. And so I don't know if they changed that rule and they use a NHL sized rink versus the old school Olympic sized rink. Go back and if you guys are interested in it, like go back and watch like something from like the 80s and see how huge that rink is compared to like a NHL rink nowadays. It's massive. What would you pick, sports wise? I covered winter. I'll probably cover summer too. I think for my summer Olympic sport, if I could pick a sport that I'd be really good at and compete in. Well, let me tell you. You tell me your winter one first. Look at this. NHL will not. Yeah, I figured it's tied to COVID. And if everyone's there, then it forces folks.
I don't know. There's a lot of sports to choose from.
I wonder if any minor league teams like so there's the NHL and then the next tier down is the AHL, at least in the United States. So the AHL, I wonder if any AHL people went to the Olympics because of the lack of NHL players going, or if they are predominantly college kids, like you're saying. And then below the AHL is at least in the East Coast, which there are some West Coast teams on this East Coast league, is the ECHL, and that's the next step down. And then I think they have another minor league under that, if I recall correctly. But it's up in Canada. It's not here in the U.S.
Figure skating.
Figure skating. Would you do solo figure skating, like the short program, the long program? Because that's important.
Is it?
Yeah. So long program is going to be like you're going to be out there for like 5-10 minutes, right? Isn't that the long program? So they have to be able to skate and have the endurance to do that, and to be able to have a long enough and interesting enough set of tricks that they're going to do during that time span. Whereas if you're doing the short stuff, it's just like the sprinting concept. Like you can bust out all your badass tricks real quick and then you're done. And if you get tired at the end, it's whatever, because you're done.
I didn't push that much thought into it, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know all the current winter sports, the Winter Olympic sports. I have to look that up.
We saw a lot
Winter
of them
Olympic
on,
sports. I'm gonna look it up.
on Peacock.
Olympics.com will tell us.
But there's okay.
I found it.
I went with figure skating because in my mind most of like a lot of those sports involve heights that I'm not comfortable with. So I was like, which one involves less heights? Figure skating, or maybe like the cross country skiing thing. Like that could be cool. Okay, also maybe.
Yeah.
But like I like the dancing thing. I love figure skating. Like always watching it, and it just reminds me of dancing on ice. So I was like, okay, that's not the show though.
Snowboarding would be fun, but I think snowboarding is.
I've never been snowboarding. I've only ever been skiing, and it was fun. But like a lot of those were like, launch off this giant thing, or go down this hill super really fast.
I'm trying to think of.
Like, nope, those aren't for me.
Can't get much closer to the ground than the luge. Yeah, I know it's true, but you're going really fast, and if you f it up, then you're dead.
Nope.
As long as you don't.
No luge, no bobsled, none of that.
I mean, if you bobsled and you're like the third man, you'll be all right.
Also, no thank you. No thank you.
The third man doesn't do shit, I don't think. They just sit there and lean forward.
They have to be able to do something.
I don't think so. I have to go back and watch Cool Runnings to double check my homework.
You think that movie's super accurate?
I don't know. It's also a movie from like the late 80s, early 90s, so I don't know how much it's changed. Olympic Winter Games, I think the most dangerous Olympic Winter Games, just looking at the list here, besides the skeleton, would either be freestyle skiing, which is when they go down that ramp and they go down the super long ramp, they hit a short little jump, and they can do a crazy freestyle trick, and then they land it. Because again, if you mess that up, because you're starting up really high, and you get the one big jump.
Is that the one we were watching and the girl lost her skis?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, she lived. That's great."
But then they do the same thing with the ski jumping as well, but they don't do any tricks with ski jumping, but they are still jumping from a high distance.
Yeah, also not for me.
But in that case, when you're jumping, you're only spreading your legs and leaning forward and doing, body position that you have a little bit more control over, as opposed to I'm going to jump up and do some cool badass flips and then hope I land on my feet.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So
they need to have a sport where they take ski jumping, and then as you jump, you put your arms out and you actually have one of those like squirrel suits on and you keep going.
It's like a biathlon.
Yeah.
But for that'd be cool.
That's like the next evolution of that sport.
I think the safest Olympic sport that's winter is probably curling.
Yeah.
That's probably the safest. And that's why you see a lot of older folks that are still Olympians doing it.
Yeah.
So let's look at oh my God.
The summer's got
so anyway, I'm looking at the Winter Olympics. If you go to Olympics.com, they have all the information about all the Paralympic games that there are, Youth Olympics, Winter Olympics, and the regular Olympics.
You say youth Olympics?
It says Youth Olympics here.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 Winter Olympic sports. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. 1, 9, 27, 36, 45. There are 46 Olympic sports for the Summer Olympics. The traditional Olympics, there are 46 sports opposed to the winter where there's only like a little over half dozen. That's crazy. But they've added some sports in the last year. So if you didn't know, nowadays, skateboarding is now a sport in the Olympics.
And surfing also got added.
Yeah, surfing is there. Skateboarding. Sport climbing was the other one that was new.
That was.
So people that are like are hardcore about
sport
like
and speed, right? There's two different types of climbing that were added.
it's listed here as the same thing.
Oh, is it?
Uh,
Okay. Maybe that's the sub segments under sport climbing. Because they have like the difficulty, but then they also have like how fast you can get up to the top
Right.
of the wall that we watched.
So what would the safest? And there's sports like table tennis, right? I tried watching surfing. It's a little boring. Yeah, I think it's probably an acquired taste kind of a thing. Cause like,
I thought surfing was boring.
the thing is like I don't know how that works too. Do they have to go on a certain wave, or do they get to pick the wave they want to ride? And then if they sit there, I mean, some surfers when they do surfing competitions, they're allowed to wait for a wave that they want to ride, and sometimes they're waiting for 5-10 minutes, and then they finally do something. So like, it's like probably more slow paced than golf until there's that moment where they hit the wave that they want, and then then you do something interesting.
Maybe they only can wait so long.
What's the most the safest, in your opinion, the safest Olympic sport in the summer? I'd probably
Like table tennis? Maybe?
I would say probably
Is
table.
badminton on there?
Badminton's on there.
That's probably safe.
You could probably pull more of a muscle on badminton than table tennis.
I don't know. Some of those table tennis people are nuts. Have you
Yeah.
ever?
When we watched, they were waiting around and only getting small waves. Yeah, that's a thing, and that's like I said. Like, think in traditional surfing competition, it's like they get a gap in time where they're allowed to pick a wave, and it could be forever, or it could be like really instant. Like, here's this badass wave, here it comes. This is it. I think honestly, I take back I didn't say what my favorite
Pick a
summer.
sport, yeah.
But here's the thing. Modern pentathlon. If
Oh my God.
if you are the ultimate sport athlete, if you can be a gold medalist in the modern pentathlon, then
Then you're good.
then you're good at like a lot of shit. And the thing is they never have somebody like the extreme, like you know, you're really good at, you know, fencing, but you only go into the Olympics for just fencing is because you've been trained to do that. But like the modern pentathlon, what is it? Swimming, fencing, shooting, running, and riding a horse.
Yeah.
And equestrian, right?
Yeah.
And I there was a joke online I remember seeing around the summertime that was like, the modern pentathlon is literally how James Bond villains train. And that's what it's
I
for.
like it. I like it.
And then like be careful on like when the Russians, you see the Russian guy winning, he's gonna be the next James Bond villain.
That's pretty good.
Marathon swimming. I don't know how long that is, but that's a dedicated swimming sport. So there's swimming and then there's marathon swimming. I wonder if that's kind of a relay thing or if that's just when I say when it says marathon,
Probably
that's one
just
person, right?
Swim for a long time.
You said that? You said the I swear I saw it. Did you post that on the internet? Maybe I saw it
Maybe
then.
became a thing.
No, I saw it on like Facebook or something. He probably posted it on Facebook, and that's where I saw it. Look at you. Look at you being
Getting quoted.
the OG on that one. I'm gonna look at the Youth Olympics. There's a lot on that list. I wonder if there's anything unique
I
there.
don't know what age starts Youth Olympics because I thought regular Olympics.
We should get Cooper in the Youth Olympics ASAP,
Oh
right?
my gosh, that's a lot of pressure.
We'll train him. Oh shit! Sport climbing is in Youth Olympics. Taekwondo. roller speed skating is in the Youth Olympics.
That's
Roller speed
cool.
skating. Hold on,
Why
is that?
isn't that adult thing?
Let
too?
me check it. Let me check it. It is not. It is only Youth Olympics. Roller speed skating. I swear I saw roller speed skating the other day on something on the Olympics channel thing. And I'm like, is that them just training on the off season for regular speed skating because they don't have an ice rink or something?
Yeah.
But apparently that's a sport.
It's pretty awesome.
What else is in here that's unique? Let's see. There's ski mountaineering. I don't know what that is. Is that going up a hill?
I don't know. Maybe.
There's acrobatic gymnastics and there's artistic gymnastics. Those are a little different than traditional gymnastics, it looks like. But they have everything else. And they have hockey, but when they say hockey, they're talking about field hockey. Because it says Youth Olympics, so it seems to be more targeted towards summer games than winter games. Even though ski mountaineering is on this list. I want to see what that is. What can I click on that? And let's take a look at the Paralympics. Oh, what? Do they have their own site? Okay, maybe not. This is a subsection. Maybe maybe it's because I'm ignorant. I don't know. Maybe the Paralympic Games, they all do the same sports as all the Olympic Games. I don't know. I have no idea. I doubt that because there's probably some sports that were fairly new that they probably didn't include on that list. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like everything that's there is they do it all. The guy we watched. I watched the Olympics episode of Blippi again today with Cooper. Were you watching that? No, that was when you were sleeping. And the Paralympic snowboarder guy that they have, that's like the last person that they meet on that episode.
I remember him.
When he leaves and he does his little trick segment thing, it's pretty intense. And so he was an amputee on one of his legs from I think a snowmobile accident, right? Yeah. And he had I think it's from like the thigh leg part of his leg up, like above his knee, somewhere above his knee, and he had like this badass looking metal like pressurized leg that he would use, and he was able to do some cool stuff. Here it is. Ski mountaineering debuts in maybe it's not even a sport yet. It's
not official.
Not official sport. In 2026, the Youth Olympic sport of ski mountaineering. And no, it's in the cold, and they're walking up a hill. It looks like it is literally. Yo, here's some skis. Climb this hill. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's gotta be really hard.
24 men and 24 women.
Because, when you ski, you normally go down a hill, not up a hill. There are lifts for that.
I'll check it out. So in Tokyo 2020, they added, you will see skateboarding, karate, softball, baseball, sport climbing, and surfing as additional sports. In Paris 2024 will replace baseball and softball and karate with breaking.
What is breaking?
That's what it says. Let's click on it and find out. Why would they get rid of baseball and softball?
Because they're not real Olympic sports.
That's bullshit. I tell you what. I mean, I know America.
Wait, is that break dancing as a sport?
Oh no!
What is this?
Yo!
Break dancing is about to become an Olympic sport, people.
Winter Olympics. So yeah, breakdancing literally in Paris 2024. Breakdancing will be a sport in the Olympics.
What?
That's stupid.
What?
That's so stupid.
How do you judge that?
Let's take karate out. Let's take baseball out. We're gonna put in breakdancing. What the fuck?
Like that is so
What
subjective.
is that?
Or subjective. It's subjective. How do you? The judging. No.
So, there's a lot of subjective judging in different sports, like
I know, and people
like
get
ice
pissed
skating.
off at the judges all the time for making what other people consider bad calls, and
They wanted to make
cheerleading?
cheerleading an Olympic sport.
Is that because there's so many TV shows related to cheerleading?
Now, so when you say cheerleading, you're talking about like the choreographed dance
Competitive, man.
stuff, right? Not like
Competitive.
okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. It'd be cool. But the thing is like, I feel like a lot of countries would not participate in that.
But at least cheerleading. I feel like cheerleading has had more standards than breakdancing.
Have a good night, Ben. We'll see ya.
Night.
Cheerleading has had more standards. Yeah, I'm sure it
Well,
does.
yeah, I feel
especially
like
more than like breakdancing.
That's crazy.
Maybe that's not true.
I just realized
That's
what
not
time it is. We need to go to bed
I
soon.
know we do.
Cooper's gonna get up at 7,
I know.
which means
You never. What sport would you pick in Olympic Summer Olympics? What'd you do? That's the final.
I mean the ultimate, I guess, would be that pentathlon if you want to be amazingly like.
Oh, you can't
able-bodied.
You can't steal my thunder. What
I
are you
didn't.
doing?
What? You got to go first, and you're sitting in front of a list. You probably wouldn't have even thought about it.
I probably wouldn't have.
Anyway, if I was gonna pick something in the summer, just because I like it, it would probably be something equestrian, like dressage or
Not-
eventing or something like that. And that is only because, one, it's cool as hell and underappreciated, but two, like that is one of those sports where people do it until they're 50 years old. So you have years and years and years to get good or to, maybe, I don't know.
Because the
either
horse-
win a gold or just like
because
keep
the
at
horse
it.
is doing all the work.
The horse is not doing all the work. Oh my god.
It's
There's a
not.
whole,
I know.
like,
I know.
Relationship.
I know.
Anyway,
I know.
I think that is a sport you don't see a whole lot of,
Yeah.
and that would be fun. Do it for a long time. But I feel like summer's got so many good sports to pick from. I mean, there's a lot of things in there I'd be cool with. Like I would.
So martial arts wise, there's karate, judo, and taekwondo, and it's strange that they would get rid of karate. Maybe because of the point systems were a little weird.
Maybe. But replacing karate with breakdancing for points. That's
But not even just creating, not just replacing karate, but replacing baseball and softball. I think
yeah.
and there's plenty of countries that play baseball and softball
Besides
But-
the US.
besides the U.S. that are like even better than the U.S. Even though
Oh,
the
yeah.
U.S. claim it's like the all-American pastime, but the thing is like sports that I think are that maybe don't get as enough visibility because it's not an American sport is stuff like cricket, right? I mean, it's kind of baseball-esque. It's not the same, but it's close, similar. But you don't see cricket as an Olympic sport.
I don't think you do.
Maybe it has in the past.
Beatboxing.
Beatboxing, that'd be pretty good.
Is that an Olympic sport?
Boxing is.
Well, yeah. I guess. Sure.
Once you let the break dancers show up, then you're gonna get like you're gonna get hula hoop people and stuff like that.
I mean, hey, if you, I don't, you know what? I don't know what qualifies a sport as an Olympic
You-
sport.
You know what should be an Olympic sport? 1A yo-yoing. That's what should be an Olympic sport.
No.
1A, just 1A, not like all the other ones.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
No, because I feel like that doesn't use enough of your body to be a sport.
You're telling me it doesn't use enough of your body, but you're sitting here saying. I mean, equestrian, what are you doing there? Are you squeezing the horse with your legs?
Okay, as someone who has never been horseback riding in their entire life, you do not know how much body strength it takes to get the horse to do what you want it to do, okay? Your body, your muscles are sore in ways you cannot imagine riding a horse.
Expired says hot dog eating competition.
Hot dog is a different kind of sport. Hot dog eating.
It's a digestive
You could
sport.
easily get have you ever been riding expired?
I could easily get a horse to do what I want. I've never ridden, so I don't know.
So the nice thing is that horseback riding it mimics.
It would
the
just
hips.
die.
It what? Simply wouldn't feed it. Then it would kick your butt. Oh my goodness.
You would probably be arrested.
That too.
For malnutrition of an animal. Animal cruelty. Just don't tell anybody. I'll get a horse and that actually listens. Like Mr. Ed, right?
Did he listen?
Mr.
Not
Ed
only listen, but also talk
spoke
back.
English.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the last generation to know what Mr. Ed is. Do you know what Mr. Ed is? Expired? Don't Google it. Then I won't have to worry other seconds. Mr. Ed was a television show from what do you was it like the 60s or the 70s?
I was
It was
not
the
around
60s.
for it. I just know of it.
I gotta look it up.
They put peanut butter in a horse's mouth to make it look like it was talking. And it would tell jokes or whatever.
And they would do
everybody
voice
thought was
acting
so
over it.
amazing.
1961?
It's a dude. Yeah.
It's a dude with his first name being Mr. and his last name being Ed.
He's
Oh, I
probably-
can tell my dad joke that
he
you
was
stole from
probably
somebody.
castrated too.
Oh, all right, so, yeah, from January 5th to February 6th, 1961 to 1966. It was on syndication and CBS. So
Is this-
CBS
Is
picked it
this
up.
the dad joke I told you yesterday?
You want to tell it?
No? You go for it.
No, I'm not going to tell
Go
it.
for it.
I'm going to try it out. I'm going to have you try it out on my dad first. And then
Well,
we'll...
you should try it out on everybody and see if they
No,
like
because
it.
I don't have anybody to verbally give me feedback.
Ah. They could type it.
Speaking of Mr. Ed, though, apparently after the 60s, there was in 2004.
How many horses, different horses did they use because they died?
In 2004, a remake was planned for the Fox network as a reboot.
But.
That's it. That's all the damn article says.
That's all
In
you get.
2012, Waterman Entertainment announced they were developing a new feature film based on Mr. Ed.
The end.
Wow, that's so anticlimactic. It kind of pisses me off. Like Teen Titans Go? Is that like... Did Teen Titans Go get canceled? I don't know. I know I'm familiar with the Teen Titans show. I've never watched like a full episode, I don't think. But I've seen some of it. It's an awful reboot of Teen Titans. Oh, okay. I despise it. Yeah, there's plenty of reboots of shows that I think from kids era shows that just kind of got worse with time that they try to reboot. I think they've rebooted the Rugrats show so much from the original series whenever I grew up, whenever I was in like elementary school age, and then they rebooted it. They did like an all grown up version where they were like I think they were teenagers or something. They had I think they have a new one now that's more like CG based, that's got more 3D instead of the hand drawn look. And I've heard they've kind of changed the show around to be a bit more politically correct. I'm not saying the old show was that unpolitically correct, to be honest. I thought it was fine, but they changed some things around to be more inclusive, I think it was. Even though I swear, I think I don't know. I can't remember the details. And all the Nickelodeon stuff that I see nowadays with the Nick reboot stuff, I swear it's targeted toward kids that were just about maybe a little younger than Lauren's age, like her younger sister. And like they never talk about shows that I watched whenever I was a huge like Nickelodeon. They don't talk about like Salute Your Shorts or Hey Dude or like you're lucky if they talk about Nickelodeon Guts or Nick Arcade or I don't know, all those shows. They're always like, yo, Angry Beavers, guys. And I'm like, yeah, Angry Beavers, great. And then they talk about Cat Dog, which isn't bad. But, it came out a little bit later. Rocko's Modern Life, that's where it's at. Rocko's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy. I remember the first time I watched Ren and Stimpy when it first came on TV, my mom was like, this is garbage.
It is garbage.
It's like potty humor.
It is garbage.
And I'm like, it's genius.
It is garbage.
It's so good. But this is also coming from the kid that would sneak watching Beavis and Butthead at nighttime too. Look, I watched all these inappropriate, targeted toward teen shows when I was like
Little tiny kid.
7. And I didn't become a degenerate. You've been watching Ed, Ed and Eddie. Ben was in here. You and Ben watched Ed, Ed and Eddie, didn't you guys?
At one point, I think we did.
Oh, when you guys were roommates.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's 11:30. I didn't really get enough of these snacks in me before I go to bed, so I gotta eat some more. And I can't really talk and eat at the same time. It's disrespectful. And hard to hear me. And I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me munching on crackers.
Yeah.
Also, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm familiar with the name of the show. I've never
watched it.
watched it. I'm familiar with the character design, I think, of the dog. If you showed me the dog photo, I'd be like, yeah, I know that. If you show, like, you had that dog in a lineup of other cartoon dogs, I think I could pick it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your favorite kid show growing up that wasn't like a Disney movie?
That's really broad. Can you narrow it down a little? Before I say My Little Pony.
Was that a television
What?
show?
Yeah. You didn't. Okay.
Why would I watch My Little Pony? Come on. Did you watch Street Sharks?
Yes.
Oh shit, okay. I wasn't expecting you to say that. What about
Did you watch Street
Did you
Sharks?
watch Savage Dragon?
No, what's that?
That was like Savage Dragon was like this dragon guy that was also a police officer. It was a cartoon.
I don't
And it was right around the same time Street Sharks would come on.
I watched Street Sharks because we had the little Street Sharks
Toy.
puppet toy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
don't
I had
know
one
about the
too.
Dragon one. I watched Transformers. I watched Gummy Bears. I watched David the Gnome with my older sister.
I watched David the Gnome before.
We watched
Did you watch Eureka's Castle?
Hells yeah.
That was good.
We had that on tape, man.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, I watched like as much TV as I probably could get as a kid, but that wasn't all on cable.
Did you watch Muppet Babies?
Yes.
I liked Muppet Babies as a kid.
We watched oh gosh, all of those other Jim Henson kind of offshoots. What am I thinking of?
The Muppets.
Yeah,
Like the
Muppets,
movies?
but, huh?
The Muppet movies? Like the
Not
Treasure
movies.
Island and all
there
that?
was oh gosh, what was
Were they puppets?
yeah,
Not cartoon?
right, puppets. Yeah.
The
not
Fraggle
live.
Rock? Fraggle
Fraggle-
Rock?
Yes, Fraggle
Fraggle
Rock.
Rock.
And there wasn't there one other thing? I don't know, but yes, those. We watched those.
I never watched Fraggle Rock. I mean, Fraggle Rock came out like Stephanie's age.
Right, which is why I watched it because I watched it with.
And David the Gnome was like
Also,
on its way out, and
yeah.
it was Stephanie's age when
Yep.
we were starting to watch it when we were kids.
Again, I was the little one. They had control of the TV, so I watched what they watched.
Yeah.
Which is why I remember watching like Star Trek, even though it was all over my head.
Yeah. That was a good Star Trek back then, though.
Yeah.
Next Generation, I'm sure it was Captain
Captain Picard.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc Picard. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other shows that I watched.
When you were super little? Were you talking like Nickelodeon or?
I think Fox. When you're talking about Street Sharks, I think Street Sharks was owned by Fox Kids.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I was a big fan of the cartoon and the movie. 2 movies. I didn't like the 3rd movie. I saw the first 2 movies in the theater back in the early 90s.
Nothing recent, right? You haven't watched any of the recent stuff.
I watched when they rebooted it and they called it TMNT, and it was like a CG Turtles, and it was like, I want to say it was like 2010 era, 2013 or something like that. That one came out. I think we watched that together. I watched it at the apartment, and it was so. It wasn't super amazing. Hopefully you're taking notes here, Expired Rations.
Of all the things to watch.
Of all these shows to watch that are as like, 2 times old as you are. Your dad would know probably all this stuff. But your dad's only like an older generation, so most of that stuff you've seen most of them surprisingly. Okay, cool, good, yeah. And then so I think Ren and Stimpy got a reboot for a while, like in the early 2000s, because it came out in like the mid 90s. I want to say 95, and then I think the reboot wasn't as fun. I don't remember too much, but I definitely remember them. Yeah, and there's probably some shows that your dad would probably be able to list that I may or may not have seen. I'm curious what he probably watched whenever he had a chance to watch some TV. I think my favorite show... So then there's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which we watched an episode of that was on like Netflix or whatever. I watched that on occasion. It wasn't on TV a lot, but I always liked it because I always liked Mario. But I think I would set... I would remember when certain shows would come on. I really loved the first 2 seasons of original Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not the newer stuff. Nothing past Mighty Morphin.
With Rita.
I don't know if Rita's in the other ones or not.
Was she?
I
thought she was like on her way out as Lord Zed took over.
Well,
because they were like duo bad guys for a while.
In America, Power Rangers, the first villain was Rita. But you got to remember, Power Rangers it's called Super Sentai in Japan.
Right, but I didn't watch.
And we didn't either. I mean, no one did. It was popular in Japan, and they had all kinds of different villains and everything else like that. Their own storyline.
Talking about the U.S. stuff that we watched as a kid.
Right.
It was Rita and then Lord Zed.
And if you watch the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie called Mighty Morphin's Power Rangers the movie, that's when you first see the White Ranger, which was the Green Ranger, which turns into the White Ranger in that movie. The enemy in that film was a man called Ivan Ooze, and he was purple. And I think Rita and Zed were in that movie too, or maybe at least Zed was in that movie. I don't know if Rita was. But Ivan Ooze was like the main villain. And I remember going back. Are you looking it up?
No.
Oh. If you go back and watch this final CG battle from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, the movie from like the 90s, go find a clip somewhere on YouTube. Watch that final battle because the CG on that stuff is horrible. It's so bad. And as a kid, and you don't know any of that, anything's better, and you haven't seen anything that probably as good. I mean, granted, CG work that you see in like Terminator. Most kids my age at that time hasn't seen like Terminator 2, so we don't know. But like, it was cool then, but it's shit now.
Okay, so segmenting our lives, I guess. Slightly older, like My Little Pony was when I was super little, a little bit older. Magic School Bus, Wishbone.
I did watch those.
Bill Nye.
Those were all on PBS. That's why we were able to watch those easily.
Is that what they were on?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Well, they were like all back to back, I swear, right after school, which is why I watched them like religiously every single day.
I watched the for a while after school, just for a little bit, like maybe like a month. I watched. There was a animated cartoon series for Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
And I watched that after school.
I remember seeing that.
But every morning, at least I think it was like kindergarten, first grade time frame. Every morning, I'd get up early and I'd watch the episode of Power Rangers. It would start at like 7:30 or something like that, or 8 o'clock. And I'd be able to get up, eat breakfast while I'm watching Power Rangers, get fully dressed, and then my mom would do my hair. I would never do my hair. My mom would always comb my hair in the morning, and she'd blow dry it for me. When I was like 5, I don't know. She would do it for me. I wouldn't say shit, and she wanted to make sure I looked cute. My hair was good, and then.
Did you look cute? Your hair was.
I
good?
thought so.
Okay.
I guess so.
Up all the... You were 5. Never mind.
I was 5. I didn't. I'll tell you a fun story about when I was in elementary school.
Oh boy.
because you're talking about picking up ladies. I know where you're going with that. I remember one day. Friendos?
Friendos.
I remember one day. I think I told you this story before, a long time ago, probably. I remember one day it was recess. And so one of the girls.
Also a good show.
I didn't watch that show.
Oh, okay.
It was recess. I don't know. I want to say it was under second grade. Maybe like first grade, maybe kindergarten, probably first grade. So I was like 5 or 6, 6, 7, something like that. One of the girls in class somehow smuggled in her mother's lipstick or something like that. They had lipstick. And during recess, a group of girls all put on this lipstick because they all wanted to have nice lips, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember the full story, but I had a gray coat and I had a hood on the coat. And it was red inside. That was my jacket. It was cold outside. It was winter time. Or maybe it was fall, but it was cold enough to where you wanted to wear a heavy coat when you go outside for recess. Or a bigger coat. Not like a massive coat, but you know what I mean. And there was this lower half of the playground. And it was like all blacktop over that way. And it was like an old school building that they were going to tear down, which is now gone. And I was walking around by the slides, and for whatever reason, and maybe I was a charming young lad, I don't know.
You're still a charming young lad.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Especially coming from my wife, but like in general, from any other, like, as a single 6-year-old. All these girls had lipstick on, and they were chasing me, just me. I was the only boy, and I was like, man, this is the greatest thing in the world. At the same time, I was too bashful. I know, right? If you think about it now, there's probably at least 6 to 8 girls chasing me around this blacktop space with lipstick on, trying to kiss my face.
Oh my gosh.
And what I would do is I would turtle up if they got too close. And when I say turtle up, I mean drop to my knees and throw my hood over my head.
What in the world?
And hide my face.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, they would scatter away, and I'd get back up, and they would come and chase me down.
Are you sure you just weren't playing a game?
They might have been thinking it's a game, but for me, I was thinking, man, I'm a ladies' man.
At 6?
At 6. I'm going to head out, play some Dying Light 2. Good luck. Have fun on Dying Light 2, and hopefully you don't run into any bugs. Hopefully they patch that shit. I've seen the reviews for Dying Light as well, really quick, of like how like people are bitching about the graphic fidelity on some of the zombies are so shitty that like the first game looks even better. That's a different story. And so eventually, recess was over. I lay down on the pavement with my hood over my head to make sure as the girls walk away or run away to go back inside, they couldn't get me. But then when I stood up too soon, and 2 girls just swarmed me, and they kissed me on my cheek. And thankfully the teacher saw it, because the teacher knew what was up as the girls were coming in, because suddenly the teacher realized all these girls are wearing lipstick. Like, they're all 6 and they're all wearing lipstick. Like, what the hell's going on? And then they see me, and I have like 2 lipstick marks on my cheek from 2 different girls. And they're like, they didn't care. No one said anything to me about it. And then when I went to the bathroom right after recess, because that's what they don't normally do. You go play outside.
And then you go pee.
And you go use the bathroom, and then you go back to class. I wiped all the lipstick off in the bathroom. Paper towel.
That's good.
Because everybody else would have been teasing you.
Of course.
Ooh, who kissed your cheeks? I've been like, your mother. And then I would have been sent to the principal's office.
Got in trouble. Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're done with reminiscing on the old Twitch. Well, thanks to Ben, and thanks to Lone Wolf for re-upping their sub. I appreciate it. And hope you guys had fun tonight with the games. The new game we played, we got to play through it entirely in about 90 minutes, or it was like 70 minutes. And we played some of the old Standby, which was also really fun. That the vampire, I don't know what it's called. Vampire Weekend, Vampire Survivors, and then we just chatted about Olympics and other random story stuff. And I know we started the stream with just talking about other random stuff too, but thanks for letting us chat. Oh yeah, here's the post from Ben. He has the proof in the general chat, July 24th. If you're in the Discord, here's his proof, and he shows the events. What is this for, a Bond villain? I like that. And you know what's funny? I wonder if I like that post or not. It looks like his brother did. But there you go. That's the fun fact trivia stuff. Do you want to say fun closer for good night? What do you say? No, Lone Wolf knows what to do.
Sleep tight.
If
Don't
Lone
let
Wolf's
the bed bugs bite.
If Lone Wolf is still here, he'll know what to do.
Is there is official closer?
He started the trend.
Did this trend start last week?
No, he's been doing this for like a couple weeks.
Oh.
I don't think he's here anymore. Oh. Thanks, Lone Wolf. Good night. Have a good night, everybody.
What?
She has no idea. See ya.